Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, finally, fucking finally. Yeah, it was not mute. Anyway, hello. Hi, ladies, gentlemen, and bees. Thank you for coming to the stream. That will definitely answer the question: why will Neil get arrested? Today, we are talking about something very heavy, which is the protests in Bangladesh. And before we start, hello, how have you been doing? Hi, Bliss. Thank you for coming. Thank you for telling me I'm mute. Today has been a long day. I think also I'm a bit short today. That pun was not intended. This should work better. Yeah. I am not short anymore. Perfect. Man, preparing for streams is hard, especially if you're doing back-to-back streams. It's extremely annoying as well. Okay, so few things. We changed our display picture because I figured the display picture was not pulling its weight. We changed our display cover because I figured it was just whatever. And let's wait for Piyush because he was supposed to come and he was like, oh, I want to come. Okay, whatever. As said before, we are losing a lot of traction now, which is not surprising, honestly, because a lot of our commentary is not like YouTube friendly. So our traction is going down. That's why I keep saying, hey, like spread this as much as you can because the traction is going down. Let's not wait until the traction is back. Let's just do something about it right now. And yeah, so how have you been, guys? I need to call everyone again. I'm so glad I did not forget to press record this time. How do I always... What did you forget? I haven't played Tomb Raider yet. I want to. I really do. I haven't played Tomb Raider. When the new game comes in, I will play it. Maybe we'll stream it. Streaming kind of, it's going to take a lot more people, to be honest with you, and like a lot better setup. Because like yesterday, oh, nice. Oh, definitely. Then we'll definitely play Tomb Raider when it comes in. 100%. The only thing is I need to get a better chair for that scenario because my back was like killing me after. Like even until like today morning, my back was killing me. Also try we'll try everything with like the triangle boobies. Okay, so we'll play that definitely. That is a definite. We'll play that for sure. Where hold on, let me just check where is it available. If you're on Steam, you can get it for like €5. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm on Steam. See, I don't know if I want to play it on the computer itself. The computer is not that great. Okay, so what was I googling? Yeah, Tomb Raider 13? Yeah. But we can play it on PlayStation. Yeah, it is available. We'll play it. I'll buy it. Yeah. I have like, there is no graphic card in this. Like this is like the manufacturer's graphic card. So it's like I have shit all right now. I don't have like a setup for like, oh, this is like a streaming PC or like this is something on those lines. This is nothing of that sort. Shit, why do I have a spot here? Yeah, just Google Tomb Raider. Yeah. Yes. See, the thing is, this computer that I'm using, it's technically not mine. I mean, it is mine, but it is technically also not mine because I also use it for work, kind of. So it was given to me. It is still technically mine, but I'm pretty sure that this does not have like a graphic card, like a dedicated one, like a NVIDIA or whatever. It just has like the Intel integrated graphic card. So I don't really have I don't know if it's going to be supported. I mean, I can do whatever I want with the computer, but that's another point. Maybe, because if the PS Store has it with like PS Plus, it won't be. Hold on, let me just check. Because Tomb Raider PS5, PS Plus. Oh, let me just check. See, the definitive edition right now is, yeah, it's cheap with the. Hold on. No, hold on. Let me just translate this. Yeah, I can just download it. Like for free. I don't need to buy it. It is within the subscription, so I can just play the Tomb Raider directly. The PS subscription is like amazing. Like generally speaking, like the whole, yeah, PS Plus is amazing. Yeah, so I have the definitive edition free. Yeah, so I don't have to buy it anymore. Like literally, the best thing I have ever done is bought this yearly subscription, because like the games that you get is like really good. Like seriously, I don't like the fact that they remove some of the games eventually, but it's like okay, whatever. Oh yeah, no, like Witcher was not working. Witcher was not working. There's so much background that you have to do. You will play Tomb Raider. Like Witcher is great. Like honestly, Witcher is great to play. I found out like okay, we were doing the stream, and because there is no like a path to do, there's no like a straight path to do. What was the problem that was happening with it is like, oh, where am I supposed to go exactly? Because I'm normally doing a lot of things overall, and just following one path is going to be extremely hard, and the people are going to get bored, obviously. So that was a huge problem with Witcher. But fair, we can play like non-open world games from now, and that should like work out. Guys, if you're here, please do share the stream. We are getting bogged down with the YouTube whatever, because I don't know why. Our traction is down. Everything is a little bit down. I'm pretty sure because it's the new year. New year is like the worst time for being like on YouTube, apparently. Hold on. Play in order first. 2013, then Rise, then... Yes, we will play all of it. No, don't worry. I'm here till like we are old. Like at least on YouTube, we'll play everything. We have the rest of our lives. I have played none of it, so we will check. That would be an experience. Anyway, so please share the stream. Like the winter time is horrible for YouTube, especially. Yes, we will just create a gaming channel. Alan Wake 2 is also good. I seen yeah. Alan Wake 2 is. I have not played any of these. Like I will be going in blind to all of these. Ooh, survival horror, nice. Yeah, survival horror does very good on YouTube. Gameplay very similar to Uncharted. No, I know Tomb Raider. It's not like I haven't played anything of Tomb Raider. I have like the really old ones, not like the new ones at any point. Like not like the new ones. Anyway, so Alan Wake 2. See, are you guys fans of Resident Evil? We can play Resident Evil as well. Like I'm gonna be shit scared most of the stream. That is for sure. We're like, ah! Like seriously speaking, I'm gonna have to have like a top gate for. But we can play like I have like okay. I'm gonna be serious. I want to play Resident Evil. I really do. It is something I have been wanting to play for a while. I bought the game back last year when it was on offer. I still haven't played it because I am kind of scared. So we should be playing it later. Also, oh shit, Discord link. I forgot. How do I forget? I should not be forgetting. This is not done. Comrades can forget. It is not good for the motherland if comrades forget to do this. This is please seriously, like was like do you get my accent or do I still sound fucking Indian? Like seriously, did we like lose like half everyone here just because of that fucking accent? I was trying to be funny, honestly. Did the stream crash because I did that accent? Jesus, hold on. Is anyone, guys? Now I'm scared that like everyone's pissed off at me. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Delhi wala okay, fine. Hold on. Do you have a link to that? Video. Hold on. This one? This one? I wonder, like, okay, they're going through a jungle. What jungle is this? Is this Aravali? Apparently, maybe they're cutting this jungle off because of this movie. You never know.
What?
Are you really Russian?
What?
You look a little desi. Are you really Russian?
हाँ दिल्ली से हूँ भैंचो
Why I have not watched this movie?
ये खून वोडका बन गया है अब रंग भी साफ है तो एक्सेंट भी सीख लिया करना पड़ा
Why have I not watched this movie? Jesus. How did a view go down? Jeez. This was actually quite funny. Sorry, this is I should be very serious about these topics. I really should be. Anyway, so I am still yeah, it's fun. I know, but like we are supposed to be explaining like what happened in Bangladesh, and I'm just trolling here at this point. Yeah, it is brainless fun. It is brainless fun, and I really want to have fun as well. Yeah, it is a perfect recommendation. Bliss is the best. Absolutely. Okay, anyway. So, game face on. Let's just talk about this. Still thinking about Saif Ali Khan is... Oh, hold on. There was Veerdas in this movie. Fuck. How is Veerdas was in this movie? Like, jeez. Like, how is Saif Ali Khan the only one with a backbone in Bollywood right now? He's the only one who got up and said, like, yeah, I'm not dancing for anyone anymore. Jeez. Anyway, today's topic, we are going to talk about something that is deeply hurtful. I say that always apparently at this point, but we are going to talk about something that horrible happened. Hindu man was killed in Bangladesh for being Hindu. After riots broke out because the death of a man known as Hadi. So we are going to get to the depth of it, how it started, what is going on, what is the response from the government, and we are going to talk about this current and present situation in Bangladesh and what India has in store for it, especially in terms of Bangladesh, because we have known that India has been in a position of these protests. India has been in a position of the current government because it has been a supporter of Hasina, the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, currently in India, running away. I forgot the name of this movie. I forgot what was the official word for it. So tell me what the official word is, please. Anyway, so this all started last year when there were riots in Bangladesh where these were student riots organized by students. It was an uprising against corruption. These riots were not politically motivated. These riots were motivated by when I say not politically motivated, like not backed by a single party. These riots were completely organic. Grassroots came up against corruption, especially against the Hasina government's corruption and her authoritarian rule. Hasina in herself has a very colorful backstory, which we'll get at some point of time later on. Exile, thank you. So Hasina is the prime minister in exile. She's not the sitting prime minister right now. She's the ex-prime minister in exile. We'll get to her backstory later. She's the daughter of freedom fighters for Bangladesh itself after it gained freedom from Pakistan. And then her family was actually in... Hold on. I should really stop checking Discord while this is going. Yeah, so her family was in exile after independence of Bangladesh. Then she was called back and then she was made the prime minister directly. The first thing she did was ban the opposition, which we can see currently paralleled right now in Bangladesh as well with the current UNIS government as well. Then when she moved into being a despot, seriously, stop texting on Discord. How do I stop this? Anyway, so then she moved into the authoritarian territory where she ended up being the... Jesus Christ. How do I stop these notifications on Discord? 1 second. This Windows settings. Okay, better. Maybe now I will not get the notifications. Anyway, so her government was she became an authoritarian ruler, just like Modi, until shit hit the fan and students rose up. So the current population of Bangladesh has an average age of 26. More than 50% are under the age of 26. Their rise as a student movement was revolutionary, to say the least. And what has happened since then is that UNIS was actually called into becoming the chairman or the advisor to the government. He is not currently the prime minister, although he holds all of the power. He wants, at least through his speeches, he wants to push forward this idea that Bangladesh can be a country that is secular, that can move forward in this world economically and prosper as such without having an authoritarian regime within it. The elections that were supposed to happen in around 4 months ago had been postponed until the first week of February. And again, Yunus currently has theoretically banned the opposition, but I actually understand why he has done it, not to give excuses for that person in itself. But the reason why he had banned it is because the opposition at this point was a supporter of Sheikh Hasina. You can't cancel a government and then expect it to run again, because that would be a repeat of the same thing over again. In lieu of this, things were a bit unsettled. Protests were going on here and there. Around on the 11th of December, what happened was there is a leader known as Sharif Osman Hadi. He is a student leader. He was shot. Two people came on a bike, shot him, and left. And he since has died. He has passed on, which started the current riots. We are going to go through who this person is, what his affiliations were. We are going to read an explanation from Al Jazeera. A lot of outlets are calling him a terrorist. He himself will call himself a freedom fighter. I am not going to judge him or judge with pro judgment or against judgment at this point, again, because he's dead. His impact was that the Hasina government, which was inherently authoritarian, fell, which I would say is a good thing overall. Like, the Hasina government was terrible in general. It's not just about the Hasina government was oppressive. She was first of all, she was best friends with the Modi government. Her whole idea wasn't always protection of the minorities. It was propagation of her own business interests. That's why under her, even though it can be said, if you believe the government numbers under her, where the media was completely under control of the government back then, it was said that, oh, she's getting so much she's getting a lot of money for the government, she's getting a lot of money for Bangladesh, but we have seen it was not true. That's why the government fell in itself, because the people were not happy with her. So I would be very careful in saying, but I do believe at this point we can call him a freedom fighter of sorts. I'm not sure. Especially within, me being Indian and shit. I'm not sure. I don't want to go to jail, even if the start of this was oh, this is how I'm going to jail. Probably why, but we'll see. Anyway, the point of that is, Sharif Omar Hadi, why is Bangladesh on fire over his death? Let's check. So this all started with him. Bangladesh, this guy here, he is Hadi. He's Sharif Osman Hadi. So Sharif here was a guy who was a leader of the protests that were going on. This guy is anti-Indian. As he called it, the Indian hegemony or the economic hegemony or whatever, the control over that India has over its neighbors. When you say neighbors, I specifically do mean Bangladesh, Myanmar, whatever, because India does put a lot of pressure on them to, when it comes to trading, it is the big player. It is, they have to trade with India eventually. Sheikh Hasina historically was a really supporter of the Indian, especially the Modi government. I keep saying that is because they are sheltering her right now. Even after all of her crimes, even after everything, they're still sheltering her. I'm not saying she shouldn't be sheltered, because she has, what's the word for it? She has an execution order against her, which I do not think is right. I do not support even judicial executions of this sort. Forget extrajudicial. There is no reason for a government to be able to kill someone, no matter how bad, because how we deal with our worst criminals is how we deal with our public. because the only difference between you and the worst criminal is a government order. So a government always should be lenient, and the worst thing that can happen is perpetual jail term. That is what I believe. Violent protests. This was on the 19th of December. This was written on the 19th, so like 2 days ago. Violent protests have erupted in multiple cities in Bangladesh after the prominent youth leader Sharif Osman Hadi died at Singapore General Hospital on Thursday. The reason he was taken to Singapore because they thought that India is part of shooting him. Because he was anti-India, he recently had posted a picture of expanding Bangladesh into its like unifying the entirety of Bengal and Bangladesh and regions around it, whatever. People spread it forward. Hence, sorry, excuse me. I'm pretty sure I got the sickness from my partner. Anyway, so yeah, he had posted that. Again, if you have a link, I would like to show it. I could not find it myself. Hadi died of a gunshot wound and sustained during the assassination attempt in Bangladesh's capital in Dhaka. He was not transferred to Kolkata, which would have been the normal procedure for something like this, but he was transferred to Singapore. Going to Singapore may have been the reason why he might have died after it, because it was just far too far away. He was 32. He was a prominent leader in Bangladesh's 2024 student-led uprising. He acted as a spokesperson for the Inqilab Manch, or the Platform for Revolution, and was planning to stand as a member of the parliament for the Dhaka 8 constituency in the Bijoner area of the city in the upcoming elections, expected in 2026. Hadi was also an outspoken critic of India, where Bangladesh's outside Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled following her uprising last year, and its influence on domestic politics in Bangladesh. Remember, due to Sheikh Hasina being the Prime Minister for so long, the authoritative Prime Minister, India got a lot of say in what Bangladesh does or doesn't do. When and where and how did Hadi die? Authorities in Singapore and Inqilab Manch announced his death on Thursday. He died in a hospital in Singapore where he was receiving treatment after being wounded in an assassination attempt on September 12th. He was shot in the head by two assailants on motorcycles, which pulled up beside the battery-powered auto rickshaw he was traveling in. He was rushed to the Dhaka Medical College Hospital. Hadi was found to have suffered brainstem damage and was transferred from Dhaka to Singapore General Hospital Neurosurgical Intensive Care Unit on December 15th. He was shot on 12th. Yeah, he was shot on 12th, transferred to Singapore by 15. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, Hadi succumbed to his injuries, Singapore's Minister of Foreign Affairs said in the statement on Thursday. In a Facebook post late on Thursday, Inqilab Manch announced, in the struggle against Indian hegemony, Allah has accepted the Great Revolution, Osman Hadi as a martyr. Okay. On Friday, the group of mourners began to assemble in Shahbag neighborhood in central Dhaka, awaiting Hadi's body, which was expected in the capital in the evening, Al Jazeera's Mohammad Ahmad Sujan reported from Dhaka. Later, Inqilab Manch wrote on Facebook that the vehicle carrying the body of its former spokesperson was heading to Shahbag in central Dhaka. At the family's request, Hadi's body was not taken directly to Dhaka University Central Mosque right away, as the group had reported earlier, but would be taken there on Saturday, the post said. How was Bangladesh to respond to the shooting? On December 12, Bangladesh police launched a hunt for the attackers who shot Hadi. The country's counter-terrorism unit and the RAB, the Rapid Action Battalion, is also involved. So they did think that this was not a regional thing. This might be an international thing. In the news released on December 13th, the police released stills of CCTV footage of the incident showing two key suspects. Police offered a reward of 5 million taka, about $42,000, for information leading to the arrest. Both men in CCTV stills are seen wearing black clothes and glasses, while one was wearing a black hoodie. The other is wearing a black, okay, too much black. I don't know why they didn't do it in like pink or something. Like general question, you would stand out much less. Bangladeshi newspaper The Daily Star reported that the country's police and border guards have arrested at least 20 people linked to the incident so far, but the investigation is on. Currently, I think 10 people have been arrested as well after the man was burnt. But we'll come to it. How was Bangladesh leaders reacted? Muhammad Yunus government expressed his condolences and described Hadi's death as an irreparable loss for the nation. Remember, the Inkilab Morcha was also the one who got Yunus to this place anyway. There is an interview with him with Mehdi when he says like, oh, they were the ones that actually called him like, hey, we need a prime minister. Please be the prime minister. The country's march to democracy cannot be halted through fear, terror, or bloodshed, he said in a televised speech on Thursday. The government also announced special prayer at the mosque after Friday prayers and a half day of mourning on Saturday. We are deeply saddened by the death of Sharif Osman Hadi, spokesperson of Inkilab Munch and an independent candidate for the Dhaka constituency. The acting chairman of Bangladesh National Party BNP, Tariq Rahman, wrote on Facebook. In a new statement with local media reports, the National Citizens Party, NCP, Jesus, why? Whenever I hear NCP, I'm like, oh, fuck. Said it was deeply saddened by Hadi's death and expressed condolences to his family. I'm to Maharashtra bill. There's a like election going on in Maharashtra right now. We have to talk about them later. Obviously, BJP has won. Like, which is the sad part. Protesters are demanding that the resignation of the head of the Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Law, accusing the authorities of failing to ensure Hadi's security. She has. And also demanding a return of the gunmen who may have been fled to India. So this is what happened right after. When the protests began, all of them were claiming that India killed him. Because India has been in opposition of the new interim government. They have been shielding Sheikh Hasina for the past year. Like the current interim government has been continuously asking the return of Sheikh Hasina. But that has not been the case. India has always denied the return, whether either they have never directly denied, mind you. They have denied it in diplomatic ways, like we will check this out ourselves and then we'll decide, like the whatever was not fair. Again, they should not be returning Sheikh Hasina at this point, even though I do believe her time in the limelight is over. Like, she should not be returning to politics anytime soon, but we will have to see how those things go. Mostly because this death and the issue with minorities in Bangladesh gives a great opportunity for Sheikh Hasina's return, where they can claim the current government is illegal, it cannot protect the minorities, and that's why India wants a return of the Sheikh Hasina government. And that it's not just Sheikh Hasina, her treasurer or treasury secretary is also in India. They are saying that the gunmen must be brought to justice as soon as possible. They will continue to protest, which is something, yeah, that is okay, but the protests have turned violent. On the group of protesters gathered outside the head office of the country's leading Bengali language Prothom Alo daily, which they view as taking a pro-India editorial line in Dhaka's Karwan Bazar area. They then surged into the building, according to the online portal of various leading media outlets. This is why you don't do violent protests, because they're pointless. A few hundred yards away, another group of protesters pushed into the premise of the Daily Star, also viewed as pro-India, and set fire to the building. Again, this is why you do not do violent protests. And that's why countries should not interfere in other countries' shit, like as India has for so long. Like the reason why India is hated in Bangladesh so much is because India has been shielding and helping Hasina for the longest time. And she has been seen as a more and more authoritarian ruler. Like, imagine how India would react if all of the BJP mindset goes away and like everyone just wakes up in like, oh, we want a democracy, and Modi has to flee the country and he goes into like China or something. Or not even China, like let's say Bangladesh or what, Sri Lanka? Sure. what is a non-extradition country for India? I think at this point, because of the failing, like what's the international policies, every country is a non-extradition country for India. Anyway, like obviously people are going to hate that country because they're shielding the person who has been the cause of all of that suffering in Bangladesh. Like even after all this, I do feel for the people of Bangladesh, because at the end of the day, they were the ones suffering. And the current protests are bad. They should not have happened. That is what I'm always going to say. This should have been kept peaceful as much as possible. The anti-India hate in this scenario is a little bit uncalled for and mostly fueled by the fact that people believe that India did this. Like India killed their leader. And this should not have been the case. Because you never know. And like there is no outlet of news saying that, oh, no, India has not done this. See, now I'm not going to put it past the Indian government to not do this, because they have tried to do this. They have done this in Canada, and they have done this and they have tried to do this in America. So I'm not going to put past them to be like, oh, we are definitely not done this. But I don't see the profit here other than instigating a riot right before the elections so they can say that the current government is illegal. Because this was someone who was very influential. We'll see. And people who actually do claim that like the Indian government is very nice because it's our government, like that's stupid. Never believe that. Like it's conspiracy, sure. I'm not going to say it's true. It's just an angle. Anyway, what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Soldiers of the paramilitary border guards were deployed outside the two buildings to monitor the situation, but did not immediately take action to disperse the protesters. Local media reported the protesters threw stones at the Assistant High Commission of India in Chattigaon on Thursday. So this is what happened. Okay, then why has there been a stir in India? Again, as I said, shielding Hasina, because we have been shielding Hasina for the longest time. We have been supporting that government. One of the reasons why the Hasina government was so much in power, even until 2024, where the government's rating of likelihood, like the favorability of the government was in the tank. We have been shielding that government, and one of the reasons why the government was in power is because of India's backing. For the past 17 years, the Sheikh Hasina rule was actually supported by India. Again, as far as I'm concerned, India should not have been parley to anything, because that is not what a good neighbor does. But fine, whatever. This led to the killing of a Hindu man who was accused of blasphemy, which is a bullshit thing. Obviously, there was not blasphemy at all. Like, there is no such thing as blasphemy, to be honest with you. But that is my belief. And this guy has done nothing. Even the investigation after revealed that he did not commit any blasphemy. This was just an excuse given for the death of this man. But that excuse is not enough.
Investigators have found no evidence that Deepu Chandra Das, a 25-year-old Hindu man lynched in Bangladesh, made any remarks hurting religious sentiments. Das was brutally attacked outside a garment factory where he worked, allegedly over derogatory comments about Islam. Witnesses reported that a mob beat him to death with sticks and other weapons, then hung his body from a tree on the Dhaka-Mymensingh highway and set it on fire. Disturbing visuals of the attack circulated widely on social media, sparking outrage. A company commander of Bangladesh's Rapid Action Battalion, The country's counterterrorism force confirmed that no evidence was found suggesting Das wrote anything offensive on Facebook. The officer added that Das was pushed out of the factory by staff as the mob gathered to protect the establishment. 10 people have been arrested in connection with the murder. The interim government led by Muhammad Yunus has condemned the lynching and vowed that those responsible will not be spared.
Bangladesh is once again at a tipping point. The death of prominent youth leader Sharif Osman Hadi has ignited a wave of nationwide protests, arson, and mob violence, threatening the country's fragile democratic transition. From the capital of Dhaka to the industrial hubs of Mymensingh, the Yunus-led interim government is struggling to maintain order as communal violence flare up. The current unrest follows the death of 32-year-old Sharif Osman Hadi, a key figure in the July uprising and a spokesperson for the Inqilab Mancha. Hadi, an outspoken critic of India and the ousted Hasina government, was shot in the head by masked assailants on December 12th while campaigning for the upcoming February elections. After 6 days on life support in Singapore, his passing was confirmed, transforming him into a martyr for his followers and a catalyst for chaos. Late-night arson has struck the heart of Bangladeshi journalism. Mobs targeting what they call pro-India voices attacked the offices of the country's leading newspapers, Protom Alo and the Daily Star. In a harrowing scene, 28 employees were trapped on a 10th-floor rooftop as smoke filled the building. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, both publications were forced to suspend operations. The interim government has condemned these attacks as an assault on the very freedom of expression the revolution sought to protect. As political protests intensified, a horrifying act of communal violence occurred in Mymensingh. Deepu Chandra Das, a 30-year-old Hindu factory worker, was lynched by a mob following unverified allegations of blasphemy. Witnesses say the crowd tied his body to a tree and set it ablaze before moving it to the Dhaka-Mymensingh highway. Chief advisor Muhammad Yunus has denounced
Bangladesh, Bangladesh, right? Yes, it is. So a lot of these things are common with what is happening in India. Like we as people, like to be honest, I have been seeing a lot of people talk about this in like, oh, how could this happen? Like Indians, oh, it is a time to reflect of like how Sharif was talked about and then Das was talked about. I'm like, dude, you have a lynching every single week. Have some shame at that point. Like, don't talk like this is something new to you. It's so fucking stupid.
Announced the killing, asserting that there is no place for such heinous crimes in the new Bangladesh. Protesters besieged the residence of India's Assistant High Commissioner in Chattogram, hurling bricks and chanting slogans against what they describe as Indian hegemony. Many demonstrators believe Hadi's assassins are being shielded in India, where former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina currently resides.
Hey, Aman, how are you doing? We are just talking about Bangladesh and just going through what's happening right now.
Unrest has raised significant diplomatic concerns, with India's parliamentary panels describing the situation.
That reminds me, like the stream, please share the stream with everyone you know, please. We need the traction. The Christmas time is always the worst when it comes to YouTube overall. So because they're always not pushing anything, they're just pushing for like Christmas stuff to everyone. So please do help. Please do help. We need to grow. We can't stop the growth right now because we are still new. It means we are being pushed by YouTube, but if it's low, we are not going to go anywhere and we will be stuck for until like we create a new YouTube channel.
As complex and evolving. In response to the turmoil, the Yunus administration has declared a national day of mourning. While honoring Hadi's sacrifice, the government has called on citizens to resist incitement and hatred. With the February 2026 elections approaching, the stakes could not be higher. The interim government now faces the monumental task of delivering justice for the victims of violence while preventing the country from sliding into further lawlessness.
The situation is very tense, especially with the coming elections, because the elections were already pushed by a few months. Now the elections are they are going to be stained a little bit, where the anti-India sentiment is going to be really high, while India, on the other hand, is going to push for this idea that, hey, yeah, the elections are coming. This election is governed. We need to reinstate the Hasina government because this government is not doing good against it. Sorry, hold on. How did okay? Oh, that's sweet. Bliss, seriously, this is going so off track for my brain. Anyway, they are going to try and reinstate the Sheikh Hasina government. Take it from me, and when this comes true, I'll be like, hey, look, we said this earlier. Sadly, we are not as popular right now. We are going to have India is still going to interfere because India wants to have a India-friendly government, and it had it with Sheikh Hasina. That's why the 70-year rule was marred by India doing its best to keep her in power, Sheikh Hasina's. And now everything is going to shit. So what exactly happened? There was this news that his name was Deepu Chandra Das. So Deepu Chandra Das was accused of blasphemy. Again, it is a stupid law. It is a law that Bangladesh has, I think. Most Islam governments have this law. High Christian, really orthodox Christian governments also have this law. And even the current Hindu, the BJP also wants to get this law in motion, where talking anything against the religion is blasphemy. It is something that you can be killed for. The father of the deceased said, first of all, even if he had said anything against Islam, he should not have been killed. He was killed though anyway, and it has been sources say that nothing really he said against. Maybe he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and just killed for being a Hindu. Because the polarization that India is doing, as India is the only Hindu nation, whatever, makes anti-Hindutva, the Hindu phobia greater. This is the same argument that is used by Israel for anti-Semitism, calling themselves as the only safe place for Jews, and attacking Israel is not anti-Zionism, it is anti-Semitism, is the same argument India is using, which is obviously bullshit. And it makes the lives of every single Jew, and in this case a Hindu, in other countries other than the country that is claiming to be the bastion of their religion, under threat for the work that the government does of this country. Here, why is Bangladesh so unhappy with India? Bangladesh is unhappy with India because India has been interfering with its government, its elections. Sheikh Hasina, as I will say this again, was supported by India for 17 years. She is still being supported right now because she's in exile in India. And there have been calls for her return, but that has not happened, although I do not think they should happen. But now, because India claims to be the bastion of Hinduism, the Hindu nation or whatever it claims to be, what ends up happening is minorities in other countries, for example, this guy, Deepu Chandra Das, the 27-year-old, are looked at as a reflection of that country. Though he's a Bangladeshi, he's looked at as Indian because he's a Hindu, because India and Hinduism have been tied together by the current government, which made his life end. So it is one of the, as much as I would blame the people who actually killed him, I would also put a little bit of responsibility on India as well in this scenario, because without the interference India has done in the lives of Bangladeshis over the past so many fucking years, this would not happen. His death was needless. Speaking to NDTV, Ravilal Das said that his son's body has been tied to a tree and set on fire. He said that the family had been initially heard about the incident on Facebook, adding that gradually more people started talking about it. We found out about it when someone told me that he was badly beaten. Half an hour later, my uncle came and told me they took my son and they tied him to a tree. NDTV quoted Ravilal as saying, while calling the incident horrible, he further said, then they poured kerosene on him, set him on fire. His body was left outside. His burnt body was left outside. This is horrible. This should not happen to anyone. The victim's father also said that Bangladesh government had not provided any assurance. No one from the government has given any assurance. No one said anything, Ravilal told NDTV. Bangladeshi chief advisor Muhammad Yunus earlier told that 7 people had been arrested in connection with the lynching, while the administration on Friday condemned the killing. The Rapid Action Battalion has arrested 7 individuals as suspect to the beating murder of Dipu Chandra Das, a Sanatan Hindu youth in Buluka, Mayam Singh, the Yunus administration said. According to the statement, the arrested included MD Limon Sarkar, MD Tariq Hussain, I think that just means Muhammad, right? Muhammad Manik Mia, Ershad Ali, Najum Uddin, Alagmir Hussain, and Muhammad Mir Hussain Akon, 46. While I am saddened by the incident, I would still suggest that the Yunus government has at least made an arrest in reflection of this with India. If something like this happens, there are literally no arrests ever made. So at least on the sense of keeping their face and not just looking away, they are still doing a better job. I am not too much in support of the Yunus government at this moment. We will see. I want them to give up power eventually and really fast and have their own, like, Bangladesh should have a normal elected proper government. And hopefully this happens in February. And it should. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it should. The RB-14 conducted operations on various locations, arrested the aforementioned suspects. We will see what happens with them. Hopefully they do get a proper judicial process. Hopefully Ravilal Das gets justice for his son and gets the required compensations for the rest of his life. Though individuals of the brutal crime will be... that's what this government statement said. Expression of deep contempt over the lynching. There is no place for such violence in New Bangladesh. They keep calling it New Bangladesh. No one involved in the brutal crime will be spared, the statement said. Violence gripped Bangladesh after the death of youth leaders Hadi, with the protests breaking out in different parts of the country. The protests took distinct anti-India overtones. Again, I have mentioned this before, there's a very good reason for it. With agitations taking place near the Indian High Commission in Dhaka and the Assistant High Commission in Chittagong, Khulna and Rajas, according to the earlier HT report. Office of several newspapers, including the Daily Star, were also attacked. Earlier this week, Bangladesh High Commission Riyaz Hamidullah has been summoned to the External Affairs Minister. The minister registered a protest over the deteriorating security environment in the neighboring country and the threat to the Indian mission in Dhaka from the extremist elements. Anyway, so...
And India has...
This is an older news, but we actually did cover this. The visa center in Chittagong has been closed up. The thing that we wanted to go over was also India's response to this. We are going to watch what the print is saying first. And then we are going to watch Sham Sharma show, if I'm not wrong. So this guy, I don't really like him. He is what you call Indian Hindutva propagandist, where he cannot be impartial. I don't know. This, like, he started off with so badly. I was like, fuck this. I have to talk about this. So let's just talk about this first. Moving on here. Thank you. Yes, women equal to men. Yeah. We are going to put this on a little bit of a higher speed because I love Shekhar Gupta. He's nice. He's fine. He's okay. Love is a very strong word here. I'm like okay with him, but he speaks a little bit slowly.
In Dhaka, residences of Indian diplomats, particularly the Deputy High Commissioner, but also Indian consulates in Chittagong, Chattogram now, and Rajshahi. Besides that, there's been much arson and much protests everywhere in Bangladesh. Particularly targeted have been the two major and respected newspapers of Bangladesh, that is the Daily Star and also Pratham Alo. Both very good quality mainstream newspapers. Both offices were ransacked. One was set on fire. Fortunately, journalists escaped without any loss of life. What caused this anger? What lit the fire? Who's the personality who died? Whose assassination started this? What is the politics behind it? Where is Bangladesh headed? Two dates are very important. Next year, that is 2026, in February, in less than 2 months from now, Bangladesh will hold its national election. It will be a national election, plus it will also be a referendum, very importantly, on the same day in the same booth. So just as in India, sometimes when you have elections simultaneously for the state and this Lok Sabha at the same time, you get two machines or two ballot papers. In the old days, now two machines. So on one, you vote for Lok Sabha, in one, you vote for Vidhan Sabha. In Bangladesh, you will have a ballot paper for electing your MP, a second ballot paper answering a simple question on whether you accept that the July Charter, as it's called, that is the charter drawn up in this July by the Constitutional Review Council that was set up by Muhammad Yunus, the chief advisor, to look at amendments in the constitution, whether that charter should be implemented. That referendum will be very key, because that referendum, besides other things, will also decide the powers of the new prime minister, the powers of the president as amended under the charter. I will give you more details as we go along, and also certain powers on appointment. So they will be a further division of powers. Usually in a democracy, you might say division of powers between the executive, the judiciary, parliament, and so on. But in Bangladesh, as has been done in some other countries also, they want a division of powers between the prime minister and the president as well. So this very significant event will take place in Bangladesh on Feb 12. That is the one important date. The second important date is just less than a week away. That is December 25, Christmas Day. That is when Tariq Rahman, the son of Khalida Zia is very sick. She's been on ventilator. She's alive. There are daily health bulletins, but she's in very bad shape. Her party, BNP, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, they are the front runners in all opinion polls right now. And looks like they might come to power, or they might get at least the largest number of seats. Her son is coming in to run the campaign. Now, he's supposed to come in on December 25. This trouble has broken out in a way on the eve of his arrival. Because once he arrives and BNP takes charge, because BNP has a cadre, BNP also has a committed vote. BNP's main rival, or BNP's more powerful rival, Awami League, is not there, because the agitators and the new group have actually got Awami League banned from contesting this election. So this could look like a one-horse race. Although, let me caution you, people had made similar presumptions about but let me also caution you, people had made similar presumptions about, say Sri Lanka. But a third force emerged out of nowhere, because people thought they had got fed up of the two existing forces. So they threw both out and they brought in a new leader and a new party. Something like that can happen in Bangladesh? Theoretically, yes. Right now, however, all polls are telling us that BNP is ahead. So this trouble has arisen on the eve of Tariq Rahman's arrival. Now, Tariq Rahman and his BNP are also not the favorites of protesters who brought down the government of Sheikh Hasina on 5th of August last year, 2024. They think that BNP once again represents the same centrist forces which will follow a kind of foreign policy they don't want, which also will run generally a centrist government. There are many forces within the protesters who want the government to be more Islamic in its character. There are also those who profess that they want a more multi-ethnic, multi-religious identity for Bangladesh, but this is not a settled debate as yet. In this one, if you have one...
The reason, yeah, I can't stand him either. You can say that on the chat. You don't have, like, Discord is fine, I guess. The only reason I'm listening to him right now is, yeah, I know Shekhar Gupta. The only reason I'm listening to him right now is because he has information. There's nothing else. Like in Marathi, there's a term like Kamapurta Mama, right? That is exactly why we're listening to him. Again, because he has information. There's nothing more to it. Also, he says a lot of things. Sometimes they're correct, sometimes they're wrong. I do believe that in this scenario, he can be honest about things. Because he's not talking like he's centrist, I know, but he's like, I haven't seen coverage on this scenario from anyone else. Everyone else is like, oh, how can the lynching happen? Oh, this is so bad. India never has. He's a gaslighter. Yes, I agree. He's a gaslighter. But everyone else is just gaslighting. Like, how can a lynching happen in Bangladesh like it has never happened in India? He's at least talking about consequences. Like, I don't want to platform him. I mean, to be fair, we don't we don't have the views anyway. But like, don't want to platform him. I don't want to give him the space. He gaslights a lot. He deleted his Hiren shit. That is true. His hands are not clean himself. But at the end of the day, we still have to listen to someone, right? Like, if he's giving information that is at least unbiased, sure, for now. I'm not gonna take his coverage on the Modi government, to be honest. Like, seriously.
More conventional party which
But Bangladesh, fine.
has been in power in the past, that is seen as a return of the establishment, because that's an establishment party. So many of these protesters who became big stars and heroes did not like this idea. Among them was Sharif Usman bin Hadi, 32-year-old, who was assassinated on December 12. So that's another important date. On December 12, he was riding an electric e-rickshaw when two motorcyclists stopped, one driving, the other one pulled out a pistol and shot him in the
Let's
head.
just go to
He was shot in the head
consequences
after
because
However, the driver, who was an accomplice, he's still at large. They said, just by way of word of mouth and rumor, that he had indulged casino. And also Muhammad Kamru Zaman, Dipu Chandra Das. He was caught by the mobs, the people making
the
live
consequences
videos
for India, Jesus.
Manch, which was a loose platform. Inqilab Manch literally means revolutionary platform, a right-wing platform in cultural fascism. That's how he had become a very provocative speaker who could rouse large crowds and audiences. The news of his death came on the 18th. Therefore, and as the news came, riots broke out in Bangladesh. As we speak, it looks like the larger riots have been contained. The Inqilab Manch has said, don't do anything unless you hear from us. We're making up our minds. But still, some protests are going on. Some of that is simmering. Indian missions have for now suspended their visa issuing activity, and they've told visa applicants that they will be given fresh dates going ahead. Now we know very well that the strong impulse of the anti-Hasina movement or the anti-Hasina outbreak was also anti-Indian. Why? Because she was seen as a friend of India, or India was seen as a friend of hers. And the fact that she came to India and
at this point, calling her a friend is just like too less. Like, Sheikh Hasina should be called as someone who was adopted by India.
Refuge in India. She's not a refugee, that she's living in India, and India is not handing her over to Bangladesh despite Bangladesh government's demands. And actually, it's a good idea that India is not, because if India did, everybody remembers what happened with Najibullah. But because when you have Mob Raj and you have a widely hated figure, to expect that figure to find any justice or any fair trial away from the mobs is very, very impractical. I don't believe that any country in the world, any civilized country in the world, would have handed someone like Hasina back to Bangladesh in this situation. However, that remains a big sensitive point or point of anger with these forces. So National Citizen Party, one of the parties that has come up lately, they declared, for example, that we are at war with India. Its leader
Papaksh won the print 0 because I don't have to use a board for this shit. I can just be
Islam said, we have to fight against Indian hegemony. Now, Hadi himself became famous lately. We know that he was one of the most prominent protesters against Sheikh Hasina. Then he was very visible, and he'd been visible in protests earlier also, going back to 2016. But lately he had said 3 things which made him prominent and also got him headlines in India. So first, he said, we are okay with our neighbors, but our neighbors should not be masters. He's not referring to Myanmar. He's obviously referring to India, that neighbors should not be masters. Number 2,
he's not wrong, because India has tried to control Bangladeshi politics for a very long time.
He said we have to rethink and reshape our foreign policy. The third thing he did was he displayed a map of what he called as Greater Bangladesh. And then this imagination sort of ran riot because maps appeared on Bangladeshi social media, right-wing Bangladeshi.
Okay, if you can find a map of Greater Bangladesh, let me know, because I'm looking for it right now. I don't know where to find it.
Social media among Hadi's followers, looking at quote unquote restoring the Bengal kingdom back to the days of Sirajuddaula, or what Sirajuddaula had lost to the British to East India Company in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. Now that is irredentism on steroids. However, these sentiments were rising in Bangladesh, and because Hadi shared this map as well, Hadi became even more prominent and even more talked about. I'm sure this worked very well within his support base. Now, two things have happened because of this assassination. One, he was a candidate in Dhaka 8 constituency as an independent, but he was also contesting against the BNP candidate, which means he and his supporters were also opposed to the BNP, today's frontrunner party, a mainstream party which has been there for a long time, which has preceded the Yunus-led so-called revolution or counter-revolution, as more and more people are calling it. How will the forces who carry the same belief, who share the same belief, now see the election process? And will peace and law and order be maintained to hold the elections on Feb 12, although the government has said that they will employ nearly 1 million troops and police personnel for conducting these one-day elections, presuming that an election is still held in
for
good order.
understanding
We
the
are all hoping that it does, because Bangladesh needs stability. What they have right now is not even a caretaker government. This is a little bit of a mob rule. The country needs more stability.
It does have a caretaker government. Like, that's what he's gaslighting about.
India also wants more stability on its borders. It doesn't suit India at all if any anarchy builds up in Bangladesh. However, along with the
See, any anarchy that is building up in Bangladesh is good for the Indian international hegemony. Like, that's why I would keep saying, like, Bangladeshis, if they're smart, are not going to push forward with anarchy or protests in general. They are going to get a elected democratic government, because if they don't have that, if they keep having anarchy, it is a profit for India, because they can always say, we might have to invade to save the minorities, like every other country who has ever done that, looking at US.
election, as I told you, there will be the other question. There will be a referendum on the July Charter, as it's called. This July Charter is a very wide-ranging document, that wants major changes in the constitutional order of Bangladesh and in the division of powers as well. I will list some of the highlights of this charter, July Charter. Number one is to reduce the Prime Minister's power. That is to make sure nobody becomes as powerful as Sheikh Hasina was at one point. How will those powers be reduced? Some of those powers will be pushed upstairs to the president. To the president, from where will the president come? Who will elect the president? So importantly, Bangladesh right now has a single chamber parliament. Now Bangladesh will have a two-chamber parliament or a bicameral parliament. So there will be a body like Lok Sabha. There will be a house of the people like Lok Sabha, like we have Lok Sabha. But there will also be a house above it, an upper house like a Rajya Sabha or the American Senate. Members of the upper house will be chosen on proportionate basis by parties that win seats in the National Assembly. So in the lower house, if you get 30% seats, then you can choose 30% members in the Senate or the upper house as well. These two houses then, the lower house, which is elected directly, and the upper house, which it elects proportionately, members of both will vote to elect a president. And this election will be by secret ballot. So there will be no party whip. This will be by secret ballot. This might be a good idea. This might be a bad idea. This will have to pass the test of time. However, I will show you
secret ballots are always a terrible idea.
If there is an outside power within Bangladesh. If it was Pakistan with such a dispensation, the army will decide who will be voted president. That president will have additional powers. That president will not just be a titular president. Then there will be term limits for the Prime Minister. So it's not as if Prime Minister can get elected 4 times, not like that. Once again, this is a retrospective correction on the Hasina situation. Then there is an amendment that says that
this is actually quite amazing. A term limit for the Prime Minister and the President is an amazing thing. I've always envied America for having it. Like, I know what Trump is doing. Trump wants to run again in 2028, but having a term limit is fucking amazing. That ensures that the transfer of power always happens, and like no one ends up being a king.
In Parliament, no whip system will apply on MPs except during a no confidence motion or during a confidence motion. All other laws, MPs can vote as they wish. Then, of course, it talks about judicial independence, independence of Election Commission, Anti-Corruption Commission, CAG, Public Service Commission, increased women's quota. All the rest of these are motherhood and apple pie ideas except one. And that one idea is borrowed from Pakistan. That says that once a government's tenure ends and a fresh election is to be held, then it is not as if the existing government will become caretaker. A new caretaker government will be set up, and that will hold elections and then go away, hand over power to the elected government. That's the system that the Pakistanis follow as well. Now, as far as the referendum...
That's a terrible system, to be honest with you. Because the caretaker government can just suspend elections for how much ever longer. You cannot introduce a mediary government between two governments.
Is concerned, there's been a twist there because initially in the referendum draft there were specific questions being asked on several issues which are promised in the July Charter. Then a controversy arose that how could a person answer with one yes or no for all these 4 questions. So what did the establishment do? The Bangladeshi establishment, they said, all right, we're not asking you any questions. If you find that too cumbersome, we will just ask you if you accept the July Charter, which means you get a blanket clearance for all of the July Charter and you can then implement everything mentioned there in 66 pages. This then becomes a very sweeping referendum. And you know what? I hate to bring Pakistan back in here because I know that the Bangladeshi commitment, even the Bangladeshi streets commitment to democracy, Bangladeshi's army's commitment to democracy, definitely, or Bangladesh's army's commitment so far to staying out of politics and power is much greater than in Pakistan. But at the same time, I must mention to you an example from Pakistan. In 1984, General Zia-ul Haq, who was Chief Marshal Law Administrator and President, he thought he needed some legitimacy. So he decided to hold a referendum. What did that referendum ask? It just raised one question. I will read that question to you. It's a big lengthy for one question and for people of Pakistan in 1984 to process and then to say yes or no on that question. But still, you must hear this question. This question is whether the people of Pakistan endorse the process initiated by General Muhammad Zia-ul Haq, the President, for bringing the laws of Pakistan in conformity with the injunctions of Islam as laid down in the Holy Quran and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and for the preservation of Islamic ideology of Pakistan, for the continuation and consolidation of that process, and for the smooth and orderly transfer of power to the elected people of Pakistan. This referendum was held on 19th December 1984. Watch the numbers. How many people said yes? If you say, do you like the Islamic system? Do you like your laws to become Islamic laws? If so, do you like what General Zia-ul Haq is doing? Should Pakistan continue to go the Islamic way? How many people will say no to this in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan? That too in 1984. In any case, even if somebody said no, they would face great risk, or they would presume that they faced great risk to their lives. So how many votes of yes did Zia-ul Haq get for this question? 98.5%. In fact, I would have liked to meet the 1.5% who voted against it or find out what happened to them. He got 98.5% vote. When you get vote like that, that means the election or referendum was a sham. What did he do? The last line in the question was peaceful transfer of power to a civilian government. So in the course of time, he had to hold an election. In January 1985, he held an election, after which he and his other generals got together. It was a partyless election. They got together and they appointed Muhammad Khan Junejo as Prime Minister of Pakistan. And once again, a familiar story played out. Muhammad Khan Junejo immediately demanded from Zia that he lift the martial law. He said at one point in his parliament that martial law and an elected government could not exist together. That part of the speech was expunged from Pakistan TV. However, December 30 that year in 85, Zia-ul Haq had to withdraw martial law. An uneasy relationship continued between Zia-ul Haq and his own handpicked partyless prime minister who was just a lightweight feudal. He was selected mainly because he was a devotee of a very powerful religious preacher from Sindh, Pir of Pagara or Pir Pagara. Zia did not like him. This tension continued. On 29th of May 1988, Zia appeared on Pakistan TV, dissolved his parliament, all provincial assemblies under the 8th Amendment in the Constitution, which he had inserted. He had the power. And then what happened? Within about 3 months of that, in fact, almost exactly in 3 months of that, Zia-ul Haq was gone, along with probably that box of exploding mangoes in that C-130 over Bahawalpur. I'm only giving you this story so we understand how these sweeping referendums work. I'm not saying what happened in Pakistan will happen in Bangladesh. I'm just pointing to the sweeping nature of a referendum and the kind of consequences it might have.
Even though he is a gaslighter, he is not wrong. The people of Bangladesh need to be very careful with what is happening right now. We are going to look at what Hadi had to say before. And like this is one of the biggest reasons why the whole thing started as well, because he is anti-India and he was killed right before elections. And do I always put it on you?
Hegemony. I think if you ask the people, even as I'm a faculty of a private university, so for understanding the psyche, I always ask this question with the university students, rickshaw pullers, and all kinds of people. When I mention the term Bangladesh, in our mindset, we only think the land of Bangladesh. And we also think we are captured by India. We have no capacity, no capabilities. We are always dependent on the Indian satisfaction. If India permits me to go abroad, yes, we can go. And if India doesn't allow me to have a cup of tea with my neighbors like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, or any others, no, it cannot be. I think we have to rethink this position because, it is a framework. Bangladesh is in the Indian territory. No, I think Bangladesh, what will I say actually? When we say Bangladesh, we don't think we have a big sea. The resources of this sea, not only water, and we have good neighbors. We can go by this sea, we can connect by this sea. So the first fact is, we would like to connect all our territories, including our sea. The second one is, if I just give an example, how Indian hegemony works here. First one, you think, our cinema hall or movie theaters, the Indian movies got released, huge people go there, enjoy the movies, fine. But the Bangladeshi cinema don't get any special treatment in India, even in West Bengal or Kolkata. The second one is, all the India channels, second and third class channels, are open in Bangladesh. Do you think they only telecast the cinemas or series or dramas? No, they sell the advertisements by the multinational corporations. So the investors, the corporations, give the money to the Indian channels, but no Bangladeshi channel is open in India. So by this system,
Basically, there's no bilateral trade between Bangladesh and India. That is what he's saying. Like, there is no bilateral trade. Bangladeshi companies are not allowed in India. They do not operate in India. They are not sold. They can't sell anything in India. India also, through Adani, sells Bangladesh a lot of electricity. Now, I have always wished for a situation in Asia where it works like the EU, but the India kind of shits on it every time.
India is creating hegemony on Bangladesh by cultural activism, but mainly they are doing the business. They are discriminating with the people of Bangladesh, what business can do actually by this part. So our strategy is, if Bangladesh allows 10 channels of India to telecast, of course, India must permit 10 channels of Bangladesh to telecast in India. And the fact is, this is the mindset established by the Awami regime and fascist regime. We are bound, and we have to be very loyal to these Indian narratives because we don't have any other neighbors. But it is not true. Yes, we have some good neighbors, and we had some policy making the checks and balance before the Awami regime of 15 years. So I think India will be alone if India cannot understand the psyche, the people of Bangladesh. So this is the time for a new journey.
See, what he was asking for, literally a bilateral agreement. I'm like, this is the basic of what it is. Like, the reason why Bangladesh is anti-India is because India is not bilaterally trading with Bangladesh and looking at it like only as a seller, not just someone who can sell them things. Because in India especially, when you have something like this, we look at whenever something like we straight up shit on Bangladeshis. We have called Bangladeshis as infiltrators. We have called them like Islamists. We have called them unwelcome. Where currently in India, people are getting murdered for being called Bangladeshis. Like, we have this situation that happened literally yesterday? Are you a Bangladeshi? A Delhi migrant laborer from Chhattisgarh was beaten to death after being suspected of being Bangladeshi. He was a Dalit. In Kerala, Okay, I don't understand. Your 100% literacy is useless if you cannot be sensitive to Dalits. That is true. Victims has only been in Kerala for 4 days. And he was suspected of being Bangladeshi. And we see this every single day, like every single time. Then it comes to this whole idea within India that Bangladeshis are bad, Bangladeshis are impure, Bangladeshis are worthless. That's why Indian government also doesn't trade with Bangladesh as much when it should have. The Indian government, and I'm going to say this more and more, should have been far more helpful to Bangladesh because Indian government was responsible for the creation of Bangladesh. But no, we supported Sheikh Hasina. And even when we supported Sheikh Hasina, we were terrible towards Bangladeshi. There is something I wanted to get onto as well with the with this guy. Hold on. This guy. I just want you to very clearly listen to how he starts his video. I do not care for whatever he has to say later because he's mostly just lying. What India must do is stupid. Bangladesh has never threatened to invade India, obviously. So, fair warning. If Slayer, fair warning. I'm giving you a very fair warning that I'm going to play Sham Sharma show or whatever. Because I know you're going to not like it. I don't know if you will. Or you, if you're here. And okay, let's just go.
ये लोग बॉयकॉट इंडिया का ट्रेंड चला रहे हैं भारत को भारत ने हमेशा से एक अच्छा पड़ोसी बनने की रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज
That is factually not true.
पूरी की हैं लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली भारत को अच्छे नेबर्स मिले नहीं एक तरफ कटोरा छाप भिखारी हैं
First of all, calling someone a katora chap bhikari just because you don't like them, especially as someone who has like what 324,000 views in 6 hours. Really have some decency on this matter. Come on. I know you want to hate on Pakistanis because you hate Muslims. Come the fuck on.
और दूसरी तरफ कटोरा छाप भिखारी इन बंगाली एक्सेंट है
Jesus. So this is how, if this is how they are looking at Bangladeshis from the get-go, this is going to be a problem.
कटोरा छाप भिखारी
Like obviously Bangladesh fucking hates them.
और दूसरी तरफ
I'm gonna go on other tab on Reddit now. You should really push for the channel on Reddit. I swear.
कटोरा छाप भिखारी इन बंगाली एक्सेंट
I'm not even joking. Please. Christmas is bad time. Anyway, Katora Cha Bikari. Oh, Jesus, why am I fucking reading this at this point? See, this is not how India should be making peace with them. But if your fucking channel, who is so huge, is talking about them this way, it's fucking annoying.
ये लोग बॉयकॉट इंडिया का ट्रेंड चला रहे
They should be boycotting India because India has taken, like, we saw, like, Indian hegemony is real. I don't know why these guys act like it's not real.
हैं भारत को बर्बाद करने की बातें कर
Oh, come the fuck on. Like the only people a threat to India right now is the Modi government, which he probably supports.
रहे हैं भारत की जो 7 सिस्टर्स हैं यानी जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टेट्स हैं उनको भारत से अलग काटने की बातें
No, they are not doing any of that. Because again, they don't care. The Manipur literally happened like last year. Manipur literally happened. Like kaatne ki baat, no one does that. No one, like India is not taking care of this, and you're like talking, oh, 7 sisters are going to be taken care of. Oh, Christmas market. I don't go to the Christmas market in Poland.
कर रहे हैं
Bye.
इनफैक्ट इन्होंने इंटरनेशनल
The reason why he posted that clip where like you can't understand shit is because so you don't understand what he's saying.
रिलेशंस की एक लक्ष्मण रेखा भी पार की है जब इन्होंने भारत के हाई कमीशन पर अटैक किया है याद
That is not a Lakshman Rekha.
रखें हाई कमीशन जो है वो दूसरे देश का सॉवरेन लैंड माना जाता है
He is saying that they did it on like this was an organized effort. No, it was a protest because their leader died. You would do that too. You have done that too in India.
Again with the High Commissioner who has been summoned regarding the safety of the Indian High Commission in Dhaka.
तो देखिए शेख हसीना के कू होने के बाद, तख्ता पलट होने के बाद से बांग्लादेश एक काफी नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है। उस डायरेक्शन पर अब भारत को सीरियस तवज्जो देने की जरूरत है। अभी लेटेस्ट क्या हुआ है और भारत को
Okay, so it is going in a negative or positive direction. He's just saying it because he has literally no one to ask him why is he saying it or how is he saying it or does he have any backing to say it. No, you don't know. Like, you quite literally do not know how it is going right now. You are being a propagandist for the Indian government. I'm sorry. Like, it is not going in a negative or positive direction because we don't know, because things haven't ended yet. You can't talk about this anymore. Like right now, it's a baseless thing to say it's going negative.
क्या एक्शन लेना चाहिए उसके बारे में बात करते हैं इस वीडियो में।
Literally get your shit out of Bangladesh. Seriously, that is the only action you should be taking. Like, really, the Trishul. Fine,
तो आपके
moving on.
बिजनेस होते हैं
No
अलग
one
अलग
cares.
प्रोजेक्ट्स में कौन आप
No one
task
cares.
हमारे ऐप
No
से
one
चाहता
cares.
है कि unnecessary complications और plans भी हैं
No one cares. No one cares.
डिग्रेडिंग इकोनॉमी और मैसिव इंक्रीज इन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट। देखिए, अगर आपकी चड्डी फटी हो लेकिन फिर भी बेटे को नौकरी के बजाय जिहाद चाहिए तो उस देश को
I'm gonna use this. अगर आपकी चड्डी फटी हो और बेटे को नौकरी की जगह हिंदुत्ववाद चाहिए
बांग्लादेश कहा जाता है।
तो उसको हिंदुस्तान कहा जाता है।
बांग्लादेश अपनी कॉन्स्टेंटली डिग्रेडिंग इकोनॉमी और मैसिव इंक्रीज इन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट
Jesus.
के बाद देश के नव युवक सड़कों पर उतरे हैं और अपनी सरकार से सवाल नहीं उठा रहे, लेकिन उल्टा भारत को धमकियां दे रहे हैं, भारत में जिहाद करने की बात कर रहे हैं।
Literally, I'm gonna edit this video later. I'm gonna post it, and I'm gonna post with this all the times that the weak ass, dickless Hindutva folks have talked about invading every single country around us to create like Akhand Bharat without getting a job. Literally, what the fuck?
बड़ी मात्रा में मॉब्स जो हैं वो बांग्लादेश में इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं और इंडिया की सॉवरेनिटी को ओपनली चैलेंज किया जा रहा है। नेशनल
No, literally, that is not how the protests are going. We just saw how the protests were going. The protests are anti-India, which is true. They are not challenging the sovereignty of India. They are saying India needs to get the fuck out of Bangladesh. That was the whole point of the advocacy of the guy who was talking. He wasn't anti-Hindu. He was anti-India. People want to claim that India is just for Hindus. That's why Hindus get targeted outside. This is the same argument that Israel has over anti-Semitism. And you do not want to be compared to Israel. I am sorry. Kinda. Jesus.
नेशनल सिटीजन पार्टी का एक लीडर है हसनत अब्दुल्ला, वो ओपनली भारत से 7 सिस्टर्स यानी नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टेट्स अलग काटने की बात कर रहा है।
How about next time when you say claim like this, how about you put the translation too? Not everyone understands whatever this guy was saying. I'm not sure what he's saying. Bangladeshi, or is it cool to call it Bangladeshi or what? Like Bangla? I'm sorry. I have no idea what the language of Bangladesh is. I should probably check. Like, I have such like little issues when I'm talking about like the knowledge is there, but the ends up being like, oh, there is this like little gap in my knowledge. Bengali. It's Bengali. I'm stupid.
इनको शायद याद नहीं है, लेकिन याद होना चाहिए कि इनके जो नाजायज बाप हुआ करते थे पाकिस्तान, उन्होंने
Literally, they got freedom from Pakistan and still pulling up Pakistan in this scenario. Like, do you really have a point to make?
भी इसी तरह की धमकियां दी थी, लेकिन 97
They literally are ahead of India right now. Are you really in a position to talk about 19 whatever? Like, after OP Sindoor, the Pakistani Prime Minister was called by America. Sharif was called by America. Modi is still being denied a phone call.
71 में उनको काट के 2 हिस्से कर दिया। तो जब नाजायज
So you created Bangladesh and now you are calling Bangladesh names. Okay.
बाप से नहीं हो पाया तो बेटी की क्या औकात है? और
Literally a creation of India, Bangladesh. You cannot connect it to Pakistan itself.
इसी के साथ इन्होंने एक बड़ी लक्ष्मण रेखा क्रॉस की है जब इंडियन एम्बेसी में भी इन्होंने हमला करने की कोशिश की।
Protest.
মুহূর্তে জুলাই ঐক্যজোট তারা কিন্তু লং মার্চ টু ইন্ডিয়ান হাই কমিশন
बैरिकेड्स हटा दिए गए, इन्होंने इंडियन एम्बेसी में घुसने की कोशिश की और इंडियन एम्बेसी को जलाने की कोशिश की। और ये सब देखिए
That's a violent protest and that should not have happened. That is true. But you have to understand, this is not an organized effort. This is a protest. There's the difference. Or India would have the full rights to invade Bangladesh at this point, but it is not going to do that because, again, this is a protest. This is not a governmental effort.
बांग्लादेश में ऐसे ही ऑर्गेनिकली नहीं हो रहा है। इसके पीछे सो कॉल्ड नोबल लॉरिएट मोहम्मद यूनिस की
That, again, literally false. This is false. This is completely bullshit.
गवर्नमेंट का भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट होगा ही होगा। जो लोग इस
That's why he's saying hoga hi hoga, because he can't say hai because he doesn't know. He's just trying to claim that is there. Like, this is the shit we are doing in India when all the Bangladeshis were saying that we just want to have a bilateral trade agreement. This is why Bangladeshis hate India. This is the problem. This is like, he's literally saying the talking points out loud of the Indian government, where they don't want the unionist government in the first place. They want to reinstate Hasina.
पर भारत को धमकियां दे रहे हैं। ये लोग रेडिकल एलिमेंट्स हैं जिसका इस्तेमाल करके ये कू किया गया था, जहां से शेख हसीना का तख्ता पलट किया गया था और
Sheikh Hasina was literally a dictator.
यूनुस को एज ए पपेट लीडर बिठाया गया था। इन
Again, not a puppet leader.
रेडिकल एलिमेंट्स में से
Gone for some time. How do you reach to this guy? Who guy? Oh, Sham Sharma. So, again, I'll tell you, we were talking about the guy who was murdered, Hadi. Then we were talking about the other guy who was again murdered, Das. After that, we were talking about the India-Bangladesh relationship. Then we started talking about, why is it so bad? And how does India treat Bangladesh for the reason on why they are so anti-India? This is an example of why Bangladeshis are anti-India. This fucking guy keeps shitting on Bangladesh and trying to give out conspiracies by, I'm just asking a fucking question. But no, this is literally pushing a conspiracies here and calling like, it's a puppet. Leonis is a puppet leader. That's why he's like, he might be, his and his government might be involved in this attack on India. Just fucking, this is a fucking protest. Just be fucking serious for 5 minutes. Like, I know he's doing this for views. Literally, like, the title is for views.
एक था शरीफ ओस्मान हादी, जो कि बांग्लादेश का एक स्टूडेंट लीडर था, जिसने शेख हसीना का तख्ता पलट को भी सपोर्ट किया था और वोकली भारत के नॉर्थ ईस्ट को भारत से काटना चाहता था और भारत पर
Why did he cover up Pakistan here? Why did he cover up Pakistan? Where is the actual photo? Hold on. I found it recently and then I ignored it. I shouldn't have. Where is the original? Hold on. Yeah, because it's false, apparently. Where is this? Hold on. Literally, CA press wing facts. Literally false. He cut it because he did not want to hurt sentiments of Indians looking at this and being like, you have cut out, what's the word, like Kashmir from it, because it's fucking false.
हमला करके ग्रेटर बांग्लादेश बनाना चाहता था, जिसमें वो बिहार को भी हथियाना चाहता था। इन लोगों को शायद बिहार के बारे में ये बात याद नहीं है कि ये साले बिहार लेना चाहते हैं। नोआखाली का जब मैसेकर हुआ था, उसके बाद इन्होंने पार्टीशन में बिहार लेने की कोशिश की थी और उसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ था कि नोआखाली में जितने हिंदू मारे गए थे, उससे 2-3 गुना ज्यादा मुस्लिम बिहार में मारे गए थे। वो मुस्लिम जो दंगे करके बिहार को पाकिस्तान
No, that is not true. Claiming that someone is doing danga to make it like Muslim, it's fucking not true. That is just whatever. Like, come on, be serious.
बनाना चाहते थे। आओ बिहार जरा लेके देख लो, इस बार ये जो तुम्हारी 100%
Bihar has the highest level of highest level of low education. Like, people there aren't even past like what is the literacy rate of Bihar? Hold on, I learned this fact earlier for our Bihar stream and then I forgot. Very nice of me. Say rate of Bihar. Bihar has a total literacy rate of 74.3% in total, though they do not, higher education rate is extremely low at 4% or something. Then they also have the lowest income out of all the people in the country. They currently went through an election where people were promised money. And now the government has been asking them to return that money. Am I wrong? No, I'm fucking right. So you're talking about Bihar right now. Again, you're lying. Obviously, he's lying.
टर्किश ब्रांड है ना, वो बड़े अच्छे से टूटेगी फिर। लेकिन ये आदमी जो ग्रेटर बांग्लादेश के सपने देख रहा था, उसको
He was not looking for greater Bangladesh, although worst thing about Bihar is 40% people live under 6,000 INR or less. Yeah, exactly. That is government data and that is always mostly manipulated. Like, the poverty line is very high very low in Bangladesh, Bihar. Now I'm getting confused. So many cities, states with the B name. Like, Osman Hadi Sharif was quite literally a student leader. And he was not wanting for a greater Bangladesh. Come on.
किसी अननोन गनमैन ने हाल में ही हुरो के पास भेज दिया, और इसके बाद इस इस्लामिस्ट का जो भारत के टुकड़े
Not an Islamist. You can call him a nationalist, not an Islamist.
करना चाहता था, भारत की जमीन हथिया कर ग्रेटर बांग्लादेश।
He did not. He literally wanted India to have TV shows from Bangladesh, as Bangladesh has TV shows from India. He wanted an economic, bilateral relation, not a land acquisition. They don't have the time or the place or even the money to get the land. Come on, be serious.
बांग्लादेश बनाना चाहता था, उसको बांग्लादेश क्रिकेट की ऑफिशियल ट्विटर अकाउंट शेयर कर रही है, जबकि इस मामले का क्रिकेट से कोई लेना देना नहीं है।
He was a national fucking leader.
तो एक तरफ बांग्लादेशी प्लेयर्स इस तरह की चीजों को एंडोर्स कर रहे हैं और दूसरी तरफ केकेआर इन्हीं बांग्लादेशी प्लेयर्स को खरीद रहा है। अब देखिए, द बॉल इज क्लियरली इन बीसीसीआई's कोर्ट। बांग्लादेश की क्रिकेट टीम एंड बाय एसोसिएशन।
The fuck? Like, how is this related to cricket at any point of time? Like, Indians should stop pulling in cricket every 5 seconds. This is embarrassing. You're talking about international relations of India and now you're just being embarrassing.
एसोसिएशन बांग्लादेश का क्रिकेट बोर्ड एक आउट एंड आउट इस्लामिस्ट को ओपनली सपोर्ट
Not an Islamist.
जो इंडिया को इन्वेड करके इंडिया के टुकड़े करना।
This is quite literally not true. Never has been said. Please show your work. Show your work where he wanted to invade fucking India.
चाहता है और ग्रेटर बांग्लादेश बनाना चाहता है।
Not fucking true.
से मेरा सवाल है कि क्या आप कुछ एक्शन लेने को तैयार हैं? क्या
Really?
आप अनाउंस करेंगे कि
I mean, this guy should be taken out. That is true. No one likes this guy.
कोई भी बायलैटरल टूर्नामेंट्स
As in taken out, don't get me wrong. This guy needs to be fired.
बांग्लादेश के साथ अब नहीं खेलेंगे और बांग्लादेशियों को पूरी तरह से आईपीएल से बैन
Why?
किया जाएगा। क्या आप अनाउंस करेंगे ऐसा? लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली देखिए, पाकिस्तान के साथ हमने इनका रुतबा देखा है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इज बीसीसीआई। इनका कोई भरोसा नहीं है, ये कल के कल 10 मैच की बायलैटरल सीरीज बांग्लादेश के साथ अनाउंस कर दे और ये भी अनाउंस कर दे कि केकेआर जो है वो पूरी की
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing. And see, the thing is, I don't even have to prepare for this. Normally, when I'm for the Mega Nerd video, we fact checked that. Yes, we did. I even asked him for his permission. And he was like, oh, fine, don't worry about it. But the thing is, with this guy's video, I don't even have to fact check I don't even have to do a basic research on how things are going. Mostly because he lies so much, I can just say it's fucking false. I don't even have to give background information. literally speaking, I'm not even joking, like Bliss giving me the information here and me knowing what I know from before is the only fact check we require in this scenario, because these are so blatant fucking lies. Like, honestly speaking, like, I'm gonna be very honest on this. Before every live stream, at the very least, if I am extremely busy, like 2-3 live streams ago, I had to go to the university, get my work done, come back, set up the stream, and then go again for something else. In all of that, I still sat down, did my research, read the news. I pre-watch everything. Pre-watch, literally, like whatever I show you, it is all pre-watched. Mostly because I need to know what the material is. I only show you like 40% of what I actually have to watch for these streams to get the information on. Because I need to be truthful. I need to be unbiased, straightforward source of information for you, because I love the people who watch me. I don't want them to feel like, oh, I am lying to them. I do all of this work. But for this motherfucker, I don't have to do any of this shit because all he does is lie. Literally. Like, I haven't, the only time he has not lied when he said Bangladesh. Nothing else, just like Bangladesh. Yes, that is the name of the country, that is not a lie. And yeah, people watch this bullshit for, I don't know why. That's why, like, doing this. That is the very reason why I'm doing this right now. This was not even planned. This was like, I came across this, like when I said like, oh, 2 minutes, I was like looking through this video because I was like, shit, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what this Sham Sharma show is. I've never watched this in my life before. And I was like, why is he a dickhead? Quite like, this, you understand, right? Very pointy. Fine, whatever.
पूरी बांग्लादेशी क्रिकेट टीम को आईपीएल में खेलने के लिए खरीदने वाली है और इस समय बांग्लादेश में स्ट्रीट वायलेंस के केसेस काफी बढ़ रहे हैं. लिटरली पाकिस्तान जैसी हालत हो रखी है. इनफैक्ट एक
Oh, you mean India? Also India, like same halat India. India should be banned by BCCI too then. Okay, fine. Yeah, I know this is very sad. We covered it. It is absolutely horrendous.
बेरहमी से लिंच करके मारा गया है इन सो कॉल्ड प्रोटेस्टर्स के द्वारा बांग्लादेश में. कई हिंदू रेजिडेंशियल एरियाज को भी अटैक किया गया है और उसके साथ साथ इंडियन एम्बेसी के हाई कमिश्नर को भी टारगेट किया गया है. और देखिए, जब 1971 में इंडियन आर्मी ने बांग्लादेश को पाकिस्तान से आजाद करवाया था, बांग्लादेश को बचाया था, तो बांग्लादेश की गवर्नमेंट ने इंडियन आर्मी की कई स्टैचूज बनवाए थे इसको कमेमोरेट करने के लिए. तो आज ये अरब्स के टॉयलेट क्लीनर इन स्टैचूज को तोड़ रहे हैं जा.
Okay. First of all, unnecessary insults. Also, really, seriously, come on. You are a commentator. You are a commentator. You kind of have to be a little bit more responsible with your words. I understand you might be too up your britches, but fine. The reason why they are breaking the statues is because of Sheikh Hasina has been an authoritarian leader for the past 17 years, supported by the Indian government. By the Indian government. Say it with me. That's the problem.
যে মূর্তিটা ভাঙলেন বা যে ভাস্কর্যটা ভাঙলেন সেটি কি আপনি জানেন?
और बांग्लादेशी मीडिया भी इन रेडिकल से इम्यून नहीं है. बहुत सारे न्यूज चैनल्स के और न्यूज़पेपर्स के ऑफिसेस को भी जलाया जा रहा है. और देखिए, यही तो कमाल की बात है. और मुझे लेटेस्ट खबर ये आई है कि इन मीडिया हाउसेस के ऑफिसेस जलने के बाद बांग्लादेश जो है वो 10 रैंक ऊपर चला गया है प्रेस फ्रीडम इंडेक्स में.
That is what? Press Freedom Index is an index for the government's pressure on the press. This is not a government-led protest.
इंडिया को तो बहुत पीछे छोड़ दिया इन्होंने.
Obviously, because the Indian, like, literally Hiren Joshi. Literally what happened with Hiren Joshi. Like, are we forgetting, like, okay, none of his viewers have actually watched Hiren Joshi?
तो इतनी वायलेंस करने के बाद, लोगों को लिंच करने के बाद भी इस वायलेंट मॉब के खिलाफ कुछ भी एक्शन नहीं लिया गया है. और आज की डेट में भी ये लोग बांग्लादेश में खुले
They did take an action though.
घूम रहे हैं और भारत को धमकियां दे रहे हैं। इनमें से
Literally not true.
तो कुछ लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि बांग्लादेश से अगर पैसे नहीं मिले तो हिंदुस्तान के लोग भूखे मर जाएंगे और
Okay.
इंडिया का मेजॉरिटी बजट बांग्लादेश से आता है। देखिए, बांग्लादेश के बारे में बहुत सारी चीजें खराब है ऑब्वियसली, लेकिन मुझे लगता है एक चीज जो उनके पास भारत से भी बढ़िया है वो है चरस। पता नहीं कौन से लेवल का ये लोग चरस फूक के ये सब बातें कर रहे हैं। आई थिंक थोड़ा सा अगर
I lost a few brain cells while watching. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we have to. We have to, because there is going to be someone who's going to come in later on being like, hey, look, have you seen the Sham Sharma show? He has some clear information on this topic. Imagine how I feel, where I have to go and talk about this because I'm like, I have to watch this shit like day in and day out. And because, Jesus fucking Christ, you know how much it takes for me to keep my head head straight?
अगर आपके पास एक्स्ट्रा हो तो
I'm sorry, I'm just talking about myself. At this point, I'm so sorry, Bliss.
यहाँ भी भिजवाना। आज बांग्लादेश एक ऐसी कगार पे खड़ा है कि बेसिकली पाकिस्तान से कम हॉस्टाइल नहीं है वो भारत की तरफ। जब
Is that okay? Okay. Remind me. Okay, please remind me. What was the thing that happens when you accidentally say something that you're trying to hide? What was the thing that you say like, hey, you accidentally say something like when the European guy said, oh, we were exploiting Africa. I don't fucking remember. Okay, anyway, moving on. That was a bad interaction.
बांग्लादेश में तख्ता पलट हुआ था और शेख हसीना भारत आई थी और जब से मोहम्मद यूनुस की पपेट सरकार बिठाई गई है तब
Not a puppet sarkar, it's an interim government. That is a very different thing. A puppet sarkar is when what Pakistan has that is under the control of the military.
बांग्लादेश में भारत के खिलाफ और खासकर हिंदुओं के खिलाफ हॉस्टिलिटी चरम सीमा पर पहुंच चुकी है। पिछले साल भी हिंदुओं को रेडिकल इस्लामिक मॉब्स ने बहुत ब्रूटली असॉल्ट किया था, जहां पर औरतों और
Which is wrong. Fox pass or tongue slip. Thank you. Yeah, so he had a tongue slip where he said, oh, Bangladesh is getting as radical as Pakistan and as like India. Wait, hold on. I can just go back and check.
हॉस्टिलिटी चरम सीमा पर पहुंच चुकी है। पिछले सरकार बिठाई गई है तब से जब बांग्लादेश में तख्ता पलट हुआ था और शेख हसीना भारत आई थी और जब से मोहम्मद यूनुस की पपेट सरकार बिठाई गई है तब से बांग्लादेश में भारत के खिलाफ और खासकर हिंदुओं के खिलाफ हॉस्टिलिटी चरम की कगार पे खड़ा है कि बेसिकली पाकिस्तान से कम हॉस्टाइल नहीं है वो भारत की तरफ। जब
yeah, so Pakistan से कम hostile नहीं है भारत की तरह. It's like, okay, this is a Fox pass because it's quite literally like, oh, like it's like Pakistan and India. Both of them are extremely hostile towards its minorities, and Bangladesh is going the same direction. Thank you.
नहीं किया है क्योंकि ये जो रेडिकल एलिमेंट्स हैं ये मोहम्मद टर्किश ब्लड समझते हैं। दोनों ही साले
Hold on.
मंदिरों तक को जला दिया गया, मूर्तियों को।
Can we put in every time a Freudian slip? Yeah, Freudian slip. That is what I mean. Sorry, Freudian slip. It's just shit. Like fucking things I forget.
तोड़ दिया गया। क्या डिफरेंस है?
Like ADHD has its negative things. Like I keep forgetting words.
पाकिस्तान में और बांग्लादेश में आज एक
Like Istanbul. What is he talking about? Istanbul.
किया गया। क्या डिफरेंस है पाकिस्तान में और बांग्लादेश में आज? एक अपने आप को अरबिक समझते हैं, एक अपने आप को 100%
I don't really understand why he keeps saying like one thinks of them Turkish and one Arabic. Neither of them do that. Also, there's no difference between India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Come on. Be serious.
दोनों ही सारे पागल हैं और जिस समय पे ये सब
Yeah, as well as India. Come on.
हो रहा है उस समय पे इनका जो पपेट लीडर है मोहम्मद यूनुस, ये
Again, not a puppet leader, interim government, very different things.
बैठा हुआ है। इसने
I don't think he understands the difference.
अटैक को रिकॉग्नाइज करने से भी डिनाई किया है क्योंकि
Okay, he's saying
एकदम चुप बैठा हुआ है। इसने इन अटैक को रिकॉग्नाइज करने से भी
he has recognized those attacks. He is saying there is a lot of gaps in the reports. He has gone like the terrorist group that we saw. What was the name of it? Hold on. Rapid Action Force or something. Where is this? Blah blah blah. Where is this? No, this is Rapid Action Battalion has arrested 7 individuals. They have accepted the attacks did happen. What is he on about? Very different thing that he's showing. And seriously, mint.
क्योंकि ये जो radical elements है ये मोहम्मद यूनुस की सरकार को खुद prop up कर रहे हैं.
That is not true.
कर रहे हैं. जमात इस्लामी जैसी radical Muslim organization.
Literally, like one prominent. So okay, I don't know where he's getting this from. There is also like as Bangladesh Jamaat Islam and like-minded groups in the interim government soon after the fall of the Hasina government. Soon afterwards, the interim government led by Mohammed lifted the ban on BJI, the student wing, Islami Chatra Simbir, and all associate organizations. The development of mirrors. Has he given any references here? No, he has not. Surprised? No, I am not.
के ऊपर बैन को यूनुस ने पावर में आते ही हटा दिया था और ये रेडिकल्स जो हैं ये पाकिस्तानी और इंडियन मुस्लिम्स को भी इस जिहाद में ज्वाइन करने के लिए इन्वोक कर रहे हैं 14 कोटी मुसलमान 28
literally picking up random shit. I can pick up random shit from India and make a exact same video with India. Come on, have some like shame. I don't know what he's saying. Is he even Bangladeshi, honestly? I mean, he's speaking Bengali, I guess. There's no translation here. Surprised?
नॉर्थ ईस्ट को भारत से काटने की बात है ये
like I don't know what he's saying. Do you?
बात की
If you do, why not give the translation? At least, come on.
मोहम्मद यूनुस ने चाइना में की थी
7 states of India called 7 sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility.
और आज जितने भी
Okay, so okay. Do you understand what he's saying? Like, okay. This guy is saying like Sham, whatever the fuck. That Yunus wants the 7 sisters. Let's again his own fucking clip that he posted when
called 7 sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility.
So what he is saying, like, listen carefully. I can play it again.
7 states of India called 7 sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all.
Because Yunus has a point that because Bangladesh has a direct connection to the ocean, they can facilitate in the fucking trade. They don't want the 7 sisters.
All this region. So this opens up a huge possibility.
Possibility for trade. Because if he had actually watched the whole thing, which is 2 minutes, he would have understood that. You know what? Let's watch it. What is this? Bangladesh, the only guardian of the ocean. Can I please ask if, can you please send me the link to it? Again, I see this is the problem because on Bangladesh, the Yunus. Where is this? Okay. Hold on. What? I just wanted to get the information about what he's exactly saying. So, 7 states of India are landlocked. Yunus, Bangladesh, only guardian. This is the whole thing that he was saying. I would have actually liked the video, but I can't find the video. Can I find the video here? Or is it just a clip?
7 states of India.
It's just a fucking clip. Give me the whole video, man. No one posts the whole goddamn video, ever. Okay. Bangladesh interim government chief advisor Yunus, who a 4-day visit to China, invited Beijing for an extension in the region while mentioning that the 7 northeastern states of India remain landlocked. In a wide circulated video on the social media, Yunus encouraged Chinese government to establish an economic base in Bangladesh, emphasizing that Dhaka is the sole guardian of the ocean in the region. Did it mean that they want to split India into? No, fucking not. 7 states of India, eastern part of India, called the Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have nowhere to reach out the ocean. He's quite literally saying, stop looking into Arunachal Pradesh and look into Bangladesh for setup of whatever. We are the only guardian, so please trade with us, because that's what they want. They want trade, because that's what have been denied to them. Currently, a member of PM Modi's economic advisor shared a video on X, wrote, interesting that Yunus is making a public appeal to the Chinese on the basis of the 7 states in India are landlocked. China is welcome to invest in Bangladesh, but exactly the significance of the 7 states being landlocked? Like, literally nothing. They're just trying to create weird shit. Yunus, who met Xi on a 4-day visit, also sought 50-year master plan for Beijing for its river water management, including of that of Tista River, a core shared by the Indian upstream region, calling China the master of water management. We have come here to learn from you. How can we make water resources useful to people? State-run news agency Bangladesh Sangbad Sangstha BSS quoted him as saying, literally not about dividing. They are just misrepresenting information.
They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility.
और आज जितने भी इस्लामिक रेडिकल्स हैं बांग्लादेश में, ये सब यही बातें कर रहे हैं. पाकिस्तान का स्टेट apparatus इस समय पे उन लोगों को जो इंडिया की सॉवरेनिटी को डैमेज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, या तो ओपनली सपोर्ट कर रहा है या टैसिटली सपोर्ट कर रहा है. ऐसे समय में बांग्लादेश को हंड्रेड्स ऑफ करोड़ का एड भेजना, उनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट को फंड करना, आईपीएल में उनके प्लेयर्स को पैसे कमाने की अपॉर्चुनिटी देना, ये बिल्कुल गलत है. ये बिल्कुल रोकना चाहिए. बांग्लादेश के आतंकियों का अलेजेडली भारत में हो रहे कुछ अटैक्स में भी हाथ है, जैसा हमने
Prove it. You have not proven shit yet.
मुर्शिदाबाद राइट्स में देखा था.
You have not. Really?
तो अब मिलियन टके का सवाल ये उठता है कि इस समय पे भारत को क्या करना चाहिए. देखिए, पिछले कुछ सालों तक बांग्लादेश को इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट में काफी लोग एक इकोनॉमिक सक्सेस स्टोरी मान रहे थे. टेक्सटाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में तो वो एक प्रॉपर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पावर बन गया था और एशिया की बेटर परफॉर्मिंग इकोनॉमीज में काउंट किया जाता था. लेकिन अब जो इस्लामिस्ट हैं जिन्होंने शेख हसीना को कू में हटा दिया है, वो बांग्लादेश को अपने इलेजिटिमेट फादर पाकिस्तान का एक और वर्जन बनाने पर तुले हुए हैं. तो
Okay, hold on. He's talking about economics. Let's talk about economics. Let's talk about, let's say, what happened with America. How much is the tariff on Indian products? 50%. How much is the tariff on Bangladeshi products? 20%. That's the difference with having an economics at the helm.
फिर इंडिया को भी उनकी हेल्प कर देनी चाहिए. अगर शेख हसीना देखिए पावर में होती तो इंडिया के लिए मास स्केल पे इलीगल बांग्लादेशीज को डिपोर्ट करना काफी ट्रिकी होता, क्योंकि उससे इंडिया हसीना रिलेशनशिप पर
Hasina was quite literally coddled to the point and you can call her an Indian. I mean, come on. Seriously?
नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ता. लेकिन अब जब हसीना आउट ऑफ पावर है और ओपनली एक एंटी इंडिया और इस्लामिस्ट लीनिंग गवर्नमेंट पावर में है, तो
Not fucking true.
इंडिया के लिए ये एक परफेक्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि वो एक इलीगल बांग्लादेशीज के खिलाफ मास डिपोर्टेशन प्रोग्राम कैरी आउट करें. और
literally what Trump is doing with Venezuela, and he's probably like, okay, I haven't watched this video. You can trust me on not watching this video, or you cannot. I don't care. The point is, he's quite literally going to say India should invade Bangladesh eventually.
और ऑनेस्टली जिस तरह से बांग्लादेश के कुछ सिटीजन्स का एटीट्यूड इंडिया को लेकर दिख रहा है, इंडिया में जो इलीगल बांग्लादेशीज हैं उन्हें
literally no, like even if there are illegal Bangladeshi people in India, you are beating up Indians thinking that they are Bangladeshi. We literally saw that like 5 minutes ago. There is like nobody fucking wants to come into India.
enemy
except Hasina. She's the only illegal Indian Bangladeshi here.
कम्बैटेंट्स की तरह ही ट्रीट करना चाहिए। इसलिए इलीगल एनिमी कम्बैटेंट्स को रिमूव करना, जिन्हें डेमोग्राफिक चेंज के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है,
he is quite literally asking for killing, because that's what you do with illegal combatants, or like using force against like normal people. He's like being very diplomatic about it, like, and he's going to be like so shocked if something like this happened, like, it was like, I never asked for this, and like whatever, and like he's going to be so fucking annoying. But he's quite literally asking for like, we should be like gun in hand against illegal Bangladeshis, whatever that fucking means. And how are you going to fucking identify it? Because not everyone in India has an Aadhaar card. Not everyone in India has a PAN card. Not everyone in India has a home that they can buy, that they have bought. How are you going to identify illegal Bangladeshis? Please answer that question. There are people in India whose parents and whose grandparents have fought in the army, whose great-grandparents were part of the Indian Revolution, Freedom Revolution, and currently they're being called Bangladeshis.
असम, बंगाल, बिहार जैसे स्टेट्स में और इंडिया के अंदर ये पोटेंशियल टेरर थ्रेट्स भी हैं, तो इन इलीगल लोगों को देश से बाहर निकालना एक नेशनल
Okay, show me, like, you have this big information, you get lots of money apparently from all of this, you have possibly people working for you for writing your fucking scripts. So show me, like, please give me your data. How would you do it?
सिक्योरिटी नेसेसिटी बन जाती है और इस समय पे अपॉर्चुनिटी भी बहुत अच्छी है और आई एम ग्लैड के सर के
How is this? Okay, opportunities wise, India is at this point the least liked country in South Asia. It is. America likes Pakistan, China likes Pakistan, Bangladesh is loved by US, China, whatever. Russia doesn't like us anymore as much because of our support for America. America doesn't like us because of our love for Russia. Europe doesn't like us because America and Russia. Tell me again how India is in like this amazing space where India is loved by everyone. Like, these guys don't consider the international ramifications. Like, after OP Sindoor, what happened? We literally just had Red Fort bombings. And what happened? Did we have OP Sindoor 2.0? No. Did we know that people from Pakistan were kind of at least even tangentially responsible? Yes. But did the Indian government do anything? Fucking no, because it can't, because it has to sit on its fucking ass. So what the fuck are you on about?
बंगाल में किया जा रहा है, लेकिन ये एक वॉर फुटिंग पे बंगाल में, बिहार में और असम जैसे स्टेट्स में करना जरूरी है। अब
Really? The states that is not run by the BJP? Okay.
देखिए, काफी लोग ये भी सोशल मीडिया पे कह रहे हैं कि देखिए जो बांग्लादेश में हो रहा है ये बहुत चिंताजनक है, बहुत वरीसम है और इंडिया को
It is worrisome, but you should not be invading, and I think that's exactly what he's going to say.
बांग्लादेश में मिलिट्री इन्वॉल्वमेंट करनी चाहिए।
I told you 5 seconds ago. Jesus, I told you. I haven't watched this fucking video before.
देखिए, मैं इस सेंटिमेंट को बाय एंड लार्ज समझता हूँ। इंडियन एम्बेसी पर अटैक हुआ है, बांग्लादेश में माइनॉरिटीज को कंसिस्टेंटली टॉर्चर किया जा रहा है,
Consistently torture, okay. Very big man, big man.
बनता है मिलिट्री इन्वॉल्वमेंट का।
He's such an empathetic dude, man. He's such an empathetic dude. इसके इतना सारा बड़ा दिख रहा है तो बड़ा बंदा बहुत empathetic है। इसका दिल तो पूरा इसकी चेस्ट साइज का है। Such empathy for people, man. Oh my God. Such empathy for people.
इंडिया अभी जियोपॉलिटिकली एक बहुत ही प्रिकेरियस सिचुएशन में है।
Yes, because everyone fucking hates us.
चाइना और कुछ एक्सटेंट तक इवन अमेरिका भी ये चाहता है कि इंडिया एक मेसी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में फंस जाए। इससे पाकिस्तान और चाइना को वो एक्सक्यूज मिल जाएगा जिसका वो वेट कर रहे हैं बहुत समय से, कि इंडिया को एक 3 फ्रंट वॉर में ड्रैग कर लिया जाए, लटका लिया जाए। और एक रियलिस्टिक पॉसिबिलिटी ये भी है कि अमेरिका इंटरवीन ना करे, क्योंकि इंडिया एक राइजिंग पावर है और अमेरिका उससे
India is a rising power with a GDP on the 4th level, but a capita GDP of not even $2,000 per person. Like, rising power, my fucking ass. GDP, rising power, where India was supposed to be developed in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2024. Now it's 2042. Very rising power. It is rising very nicely, very steady rise of 0.
फ्यूचर कंपेटिटर की तरह देख सकता है। तो एक कंपेटिटर यानी इंडिया का एक दूसरे कंपेटिटर यानी चाइना से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में उलझना, ये अमेरिका के लिए एक तरह से ड्रीम सिनेरियो हो जाएगा।
It is not a dream scenario. Quite literally, for the longest time, India has been a proxy for America. India has been begging to be a proxy for America against China for the hopes of it getting more and more funding. But America ने ठुकरा दिया गया, अमेरिका से हमको ठुकराया गया है apparently right now, and shit is not looking good because of the policies of the Modi government. America does not want India to go to war with China. America wants to compete with China on an economic level. That's why India was important. But with the policies that the Modi government has brought in, that is not possible anymore. Because India is not even looked like, forget a competitor. India is not even looked at as a competitor with Pakistan at this point. Like America loves Pakistan right now.
इसलिए इंडिया को अपनी रिस्पांस में बहुत केयरफुल और बहुत क्लेवर रहना हो, क्योंकि वो इस
Yes, stop interfering. Jesus fucking Christ. It's very easy. Don't do anything. And especially don't have your like Godi media and like your influencer people that you pay for make videos like this.
समय दुश्मनों से घिरा हुआ है, लेकिन बांग्लादेश
India is quite literally not surrounded by, like India is quite literally not surrounded by like people who hate India because it is India. India is surrounded by people who hate India because India keeps interfering. Bangladesh was in a position where it could have been the literal best friend of India. It could have been the literal best friend of India. All India had to do is look out for the people of Bangladesh and not just Sheikh fucking Hasina. By the way, Trump is moving away from Obama's policy of pivot to Asia to counter China. Yeah, he is. Because he's stupid.
को हर्ट करने के और तरीके हैं। सबसे पहले इनकी जो लाइफलाइन यानी जो इनकी इकोनॉमी है उसको स्क्वीज करना पड़ेगा। आपको 2019 का साल शायद
Why do they want to take over Bangladesh? Why? Like, really? Like, squeeze economically Bangladesh? Why? What do you expect? How do you expect that to go on? Oh, people of Bangladesh are going to fucking love us after we do that to them. Like, come on. Like, the minorities are going to be so safe. Like, the Hindu minority is going to be so fucking safe when we squeeze Bangladesh. Who do you think is going to be affected when you squeeze Bangladesh? You position yourself as literally the Hindutva nation. And when you position yourself as that nation and you squeeze other nation economically, which they hate, like the only reason Bangladesh is against India is because of their economic policy, who do you think the first people they are going to target? Is it going to be like, oh, we are going to target like Shia Muslims first because why not? No, they're fucking going to target Hindus because you position yourself as a Hindu fucking nation. And then you squeeze them economically, saying a Hindu nation is doing this to you. In this case, not really assuming India as counterbalance to China is wishful thinking. Yeah, exactly.
जिसमें एक बार इंडिया ने प्याज एक्सपोर्ट बांग्लादेश में रोक दिए थे, तो ढाका में प्याज 250 टका किलो पहुंच गया था। लोगों ने वहां खाने में प्याज डालना छोड़ दिया था। और आज का डेटा अगर आप देखें तो भारत हर साल बांग्लादेश को $11 बिलियन का माल बेचता है। इसमें कॉटन, फ्यूल, अनाज।
You know who profits from that? India. Indian farmers profit, like not even farmers, like because Adani Ambani, they profit from that. India also exports a lot of power, like Adani Ambani, they are going to be squeezed. Okay, actually go on, that is a good thing.
आज ये सब शामिल है। Just Adani themselves, वो एक massive amount of electricity बांग्लादेश को provide करते हैं।
Yeah, as I was saying, good thing. Stop it. Stop it.
Textile industry का
let Bangladesh go to Pakistan and then you cry on your asses.
तो हो सकता है कि अब जरा स्क्रू टाइट करने का समय आ गया है और बांग्लादेश को जो
do it. Pakistan will just go to Myanmar or China. They'll reroute because China already has so much electricity. They don't know what to do with it. They can just reroute it through Myanmar. Do these guys think before they talk?
की रिसोर्सेज भारत से मिलते हैं, उनको बंद करने का समय आ गया है। अगर भारत ने बस नॉन एसेंशियल एक्सपोर्ट्स पे 1 महीने तक बैन लगा दिया तो इनकी टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री जो इनकी इकोनॉमी का बैक
They are not, because if he's talking about non-essential exports, which quite literally does not include electricity or food,
बोन है, वो बिना रॉ मटेरियल्स के तड़प जाएगी। और
it will not. They have their own growing
पॉलिटिक्स का सबसे बड़ा हथियार जो है पानी। बांग्लादेश सालों से रो रहा है कि हमें तीस्ता रिवर का पानी दो। अरे तीस्ता तो भूल जाओ बे, 1996 में जो गंगा वाटर ट्रीटी साइन हुई थी वो 2026 में एक्सपायर होने वाली है। ये एकदम परफेक्ट समय है भारत को साफ।
If quite literally they do this, it's going to be an international thing that goes on, and quite literally India is already in a shitty position internationally. They're not going to do this. They can't. You just fucking can't. If you did this, like, India would end up being a pariah state in the world, where it would, hold on, I will check this out, don't worry. I will check everything out. Let me just finish this first, please. How India's role in US Indo-Pacific study diminished. Yeah, I know. See, we read this, no? Yes, I know. We read this, no, before.
साफ कह देना चाहिए, जैसा इन्होंने पाकिस्तान को बोला है कि जब तक वहां पर हिंदू सेफ नहीं है, जब तक भारत की तरफ इनकी गंदी नजर है, तब तक पानी तो तुम भूल ही जाओ।
They don't really care about India. They care about India economically. That is it. Literally, like, all they have to do is stop looking at Bangladesh and being like, we are going to torture you and we are a Hindu nation.
भारत फराका बराज के गेट्स अपने हिसाब से कंट्रोल कर सकता है और धीरे धीरे इनके देश को रेगिस्तान बना सकता है। ये भैया अरब
Try. Like, he is just talking out of his ass at this point. Like, come on. Like, seriously? Are you really going to talk out of your ass in this scenario?
बनना चाहते हैं ना, तो इनके देश को अरेबिया बना देते हैं। और अल्टीमेटली देखिए, मैं मानता हूं कि
He's quite literally like, okay. His argument is because like, he thinks that the government is torturing the minorities. We should go and do a famine in the whole country. Imagine what Pakistan, China, and Bangladesh should do when India tortures its minorities. That is what he's arguing for.
अब बांग्लादेश की सिचुएशन ऐसी हो चुकी है कि जो पाकिस्तान के साथ हुआ था वो पाकिस्तान की इलेजिटिमेट चाइल्ड यानी बांग्लादेश के साथ भी होना चाहिए। इंडिया को पाकिस्तान को
You can argue that is actually India's child, not Pakistan's.
1971 में दो भागों में बांटना पड़ा था और मुझे लगता है कि नियर फ्यूचर में बांग्लादेश के साथ भी यही होना पड़ेगा।
No.
और यही होना चाहिए। एक
No.
पार्ट होना चाहिए इन इस्लामिस्टों के लिए, वो वहां पे अपना 100% टर्की बनाए और बांट कर।
Really? Just stop being annoying for 5 minutes. This is not realistic even in like in economic sense, socio-political sense, or literally any sense. India can't have this, can't want this. Move on.
कर दूसरा पार्ट बनाना चाहिए बांग्लादेशी हिंदुओं और दूसरी माइनॉरिटीज के लिए, जहां पर वो एक सेफ, सिक्योर और प्रॉस्परस जिंदगी जी सके। मोस्ट लाइकली वो जो हाफ है बांग्लादेश,
Hold on, what is saying?
एक सेफ, सिक्योर
For who?
यही होना पड़ेगा और यही होना चाहिए। एक पार्ट होना चाहिए इन इस्लामिस्टों के लिए, वो वहां पे अपना 100% टर्की बनाए और बांट कर दूसरा पार्ट बनाना चाहिए बांग्लादेशी हिंदुओं और दूसरी।
Why not get Bangladeshi Hindus in India? They don't want them. They don't want them. They were like, नहीं, हम will divide Bangladesh. We won't invite Bangladeshi Hindus. इतना ही टेंशन है तो invite them, no? Give them the rights, give them the money. पर वो तो नहीं करना है, सिर्फ like हवा निकालनी है मुंह से just to hate on Bangladeshi people.
माइनॉरिटीज के लिए, जहां पर वो एक सेफ, सिक्योर और प्रॉस्परस जिंदगी जी सके। मोस्ट लाइकली वो जो हाफ है बांग्लादेश का, वो भारत का हिस्सा बन जाएगा और एज अ रिजल्ट भारत का जो चिकन नेक है वो भी एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा। चिकन नेक बेसिकली गीगा चैट नेक बन जाएगा। दिस हैज टू बी द फ्यूचर ऑफ बांग्लादेश।
Really? Come on. So fucking stupid.
क्योंकि एक मैसेज जाना चाहिए भारत के दुश्मनों के लिए कि खासकर अगर आप
भारत के दुश्मन, you mean BJP, okay.
इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में हैं और आप इंडियन स्टेट से दुश्मनी मोल लेते हैं, आप इंडियन सॉवरेनिटी को धमकी देते हैं, आप इंडिया की सिविलाइजेशन को धमकी देते हैं, तो या तो आप श्रीलंका।
The sovereignty of India has been threatened by Hindutva goons and RSS a lot more than it has been threatened by the other neighboring countries. Let's never forget.
और मालदीव्स की तरह अपनी पॉलिसी को पूरी तरह से चेंज करेंगे या फिर पाकिस्तान की तरह आप तोड़ दिए जाएंगे। एंड अगेन ये बिना मिलिट्री,
Like, I want this level of wishful thinking, man. I really want this level of wishful thinking.
इंटरवेंशन के भी किया जा सकता है, जो मेथड्स हमने हाईलाइट किए हैं इस वीडियो में उनके थ्रू हो सकता है वहां पॉलिटिक्स।
He has literally not highlighted a method. All of this is not methods. These are wishful thinking. I have a better economic policy than him, and I'm not even an economist. I mean, to be fair, like neither of us is in this scenario.
भी इंटरफियर किया जाए, वहां के प्रो इंडिया फैक्शंस को सपोर्ट किया जाए, उन्हें मॉरल और लॉजिस्टिकल सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड किया जाए. बट अल्टीमेटली मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं कि
So, like, the issue with Bangladesh and India is that India keeps intervening in Bangladesh. And in Bangladeshi politics, that's why they hate us. So the solution to that is India should intervene more. That's what he's arguing for. Like, how does he have so many people watching him?
देश में जो इस समय पे सिचुएशन बनी हुई है पिछले 1 साल से शेख हसीना के कू के बाद, आपको क्या लगता है कि इसको शॉर्ट टर्म एंड लॉन्ग टर्म एड्रेस करने के लिए, सॉल्व करने
But addressing it, India is not like, again, we are just going back to like, where's this guy? What happened here? Hold on. What he said, like,
all kinds of people. When I mention the term Bangladesh in
like, where is this?
the land of Bangladesh, and we also think we are captured by India.
That is quite literally what the sentiment is, and he's just pushing this sentiment forward. Like, oh, you are captured by Bangladesh. Sorry, you are captured by India. You have to behave. Jesus, that is the entire reason why Bangladeshis hate fucking India, man. Just leave them the fuck alone. Like, Indian interventionism should not be a thing in South Asia. Like, how do you claim? Like, okay, there's a whole thing that I've always heard coming up. India has never invaded any country since its independence. It is the only country that has never invaded. What the fuck is this? Like, economic invasion is an economic invasion. Come the fuck on. Whatever. Okay, so let's read the thing that Bliss has just sent us, because again, where is this? Because it's quite nice. Oh, there you go. It's not actually nice for India, but well. Ooh, there. Fine, accept. Need to. India's diminishing role in US Indo-Pacific strategy diminished. I think we covered this already, but fine, we can cover this again. No, that's not right. I'm so bad at this. How am I a streamer? How am I a streamer? If New Delhi cannot rely on Washington to balance against China, it will have to seek partnerships elsewhere. Donald Trump recently released NSS, the National Security Strategy, has understandably set off alarm bells among American treaty allies. However, it also caused concern for countries like India, which has become accustomed to a world order in which the United States was an engaged political power for the last 78 years. Ever since the end of World War II, America's grand strategy has centered around preventing the rise of peer competitors, first the Soviet Union and later China. I mean, it has already failed. How old is this? Sorry. This involved the creation of a lattice of global alliances and partnerships in the United States, providing a security underpinning and encouraging free trade. So the problem right now is that America is going down because of Trump, and this is what is happening. For over 2 decades, successive American presidents have stated that the United States no longer seeks to be a global policeman, yet in every NSS, the strategy remained by and large the same because, again, the international policy of America is bipartisan. It does not have differences no matter what country comes, so no matter the Democrats or Republicans come into power. It has remained as such until today. Like, that's why we say, like, even if Kamala was elected, this would have been the same thing. She might not have done the tariffs, but like the international policy would have been the same. There is an inward orientation for rebuilding domestic industries other than friendshoring or offshoring. Yeah, but like, I think Trump pulled the cord a bit too early. Instead of supporting globalization, the document advocates for the weaponization of commerce through tariffs and trade restrictions. It does not fucking work. In the place of an America with global interests, it puts forth the vision of an America prime focus on the Western Hemisphere. Again, does not work. America is far too dependent because of its globalization on other countries. America cannot make its chips. It is not going to be able to. It cannot purify the rare earth minerals because the only reason they are rare is because of the process of purification, which America cannot do. It's going to take time for it to actually realize how to do it. more time to set up the factories. It should have focus on that before, but Trump being Trump. See, the whole idea behind Trump is quite literally to weaken America to the point that where it is susceptible to Project 2025, where it like the Republicans and the white nationalists can run it in an authoritative sense. That's why it is doing this. This is not a reason, this is going up, this is going up. This is internal American policy affecting the globe. In 1946, diplomat George Kennan sent his famous long telegram from Moscow, which provided the ideological basis for American strategy during the Cold War. At the time when the United States faces a similar peer competitor, China, a similar diagnosis is needed. Not really. Like during the Cold War, America still took care of its people. Now it is not doing that. It is hyper-capitalist now. First, initially, like during the Cold War, America had socialist policies put in place. That's why they say like all of these boomers keep suggesting, all you need is a handshake. All you need like to strap your boots on and go to work. Because at that point, there were socialist safety nets within America where you wouldn't go bankrupt. The price of a house was 5 times your average yearly salary. Now it's 500 times that. It is not in the same. So like, I don't really agree with like there is a similar diagnosis that is required here. However, the challenge from China is not portrayed as a clash of worldviews or ideology. Instead, is put forth as a context of rebalancing trade, preventing technology theft, because China, like if you bring a technology to China, it just takes away the patent, which is fine. I don't really care. Big companies should not be holding these many patents as seen by insulin. We'll talk about insulin sometime later. And bringing back American capital. Interestingly, Chinese analysts appear to have interpreted the NSS not as a retrenchment by the United States, simply as a recognition so that the United States can rebuild its capabilities and push back against China. Sure. See, Chinese don't care. Chinese are trade maxing. They want to trade. They don't care what the fuck is this about. Like they are quite literally in a position where they can dictate what the world does. Every country's priorities is its own national interest, and it's understandable that the United States seeks to rebuild its domestic industry. Still, there are inherent limitations to the policy in today's world, where it is difficult to live in a splendid isolation. Finally, there is a difference between interference and involvement in the global order. Nature abhors a vacuum, so does the global order. Fine. American security allies in Europe and Asia are understandably concerned about the ramifications of the NSS. However, even a non-treaty ally like India faces challenges, again tariffs. In the latest NSS alliance partnerships are no longer chess pieces positioned to contain the enemy, because again, if US is not going against China the normal way, it is going to give up on its proxies, which means that America, if you are a proxy to America, America makes sure that you're dependent on America. So when it goes, it takes everything. It's like a really bad boyfriend who keeps you in just because he has money. He is a terrible boyfriend who has a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, if you choose to be with someone for their money, it's going to be a problem when they leave. In the latest NSS alliance and partnerships are no longer chess pieces positioned to contain the enemy. Yeah, okay. After 3.5 decades of sustained American engagement in the strategic partnership with India, the era of strategic altruism appears to be over. The last 5 NSS bet on India's rise in the hopes that it would serve as a counter to China, both in its neighborhood and beyond. The February summit between Modi and Trump and announcements of high-sounding initiatives, notwithstanding tariffs and trade, have dominated India-US relationships over the past year. The NSS outlines a smaller American presence in Asia. Okay. The US states will still respond to China's rise, but mainly from a distance using the first island China chain and trade leverage. Yeah, I mean, China needs to be countered on like the string of pearls. China is making like false pseudo islands all across the Chinese Sea and claiming it is theirs because it's called the South China Sea. Come on. The US-led Indo-Pacific strategy sought to provide similar support to the realm. Moving forward, instead of support, the United States may expect India and other partners to address their challenges on their own as part of the burden sharing, which is something that is true, which India needs to do on its own. Like, India expecting, like, India should not be expecting America to get rid of its burdens, to be completely honest with you. India needs to do its shit on its own. Like, come on, it's too much. Like, why would you expect a foreign country to take care of you so much? Again, but then again, America has made sure that India would be dependent on America since it wanted to create like India its proxy. Like it is what is happening with Ukraine right now. Ukraine is a proxy to America. It can't do shit without America's permission. Something similar has become visible on India's western border as well. The second term administration broke a 2.5-decade tradition whereby any terror attack inside India, every American president supported India and applied pressure on Pakistan. The second term administration has feted the army chief and improved relations with Pakistan. We saw this early. Instead, applying pressure on it, for India, it has a reversal of the Cold War when the United States ignored Pakistan's excess and damaged relations with India. Does this keep going on and on? Like, what is the crux of this? I agree this is an amazing read, but this is more of something that I can't, this is an opinion piece. Yeah, this is more of an opinion piece right now. See, it is great to read this, but this is not something I can read this on like a stream. I'm so sorry. Yeah, exactly. Like the crux is China saying, America saying China is not the. See, exactly. That is the point. That has always been the point. Yes, that is true. Like America cannot take on China anymore. I'm sorry. America needs China because China is very smart in this, where it is just trade maxing with every 5 seconds. And to if India wants to get on with like fight China, it needs to increase its manufacturing a lot more, and not just like surface manufacturing. Like you can't have AI centers in India and call it manufacturing. You can't have the development of the motherboard thing. Like where's the news article? Hold on. Motherboard production. Like Gigabyte begins local motherboard production in India. This news literally came out today. Is an article associated with it? No, there is not. But then again, this is something that Indians are not just, they are literally not trained in at all. Plus, I'm very sure they're going to try and get AI to do this. That's why it's coming in India, because Adani Nuclear became a thing because they needed more energy to be produced for AI. India can't handle Pakistan. How in the world it will counter China on its own, let alone two-front war, or it's not going to. Again, okay. China is not going to care. China is not going to care about this, mostly because China is a trade maxer. It's not going to get into needless wars. Pakistan might get into a war with India, and it will have the support of China doing it. And if India can't get its shit together, again, it's a lot of bye-bye. Because see, the thing is, OP Sindoor happened and it has damaged India's reputation quite a lot. Like, India can be termed as a terrorist state right now. I'm sorry to say. Like, and it has in a lot of circles. So we need to get our shit together. SS stirred. What was his name again? I forgot his name again. Shiv Shankar? No. Jaishankar? No, not Jaishankar. Sham Sharma. Sorry, Sham Sharma. Yeah, he's saying 3-front war. Like, fuck it. It's never going to fucking happen. Like, okay, I get it. Megabyte begins. Like, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered here because, like, okay, we have the Adani Group. Where is this? There was this official news article they are doing this for AI. Where is this? Okay, at this point, everything is quite literally like on the cuff. French government opened investigation on how a midjet like Chengdu could dominate over Rafale and how badly India fucked up. Yeah, exactly. It should, because everyone needs an answer to that. Chengdu J10. Yeah. See, the only thing that happened with like OP Sindoor shit is like, okay, let me just go search this later while I answer you. With the Chengdu thing, actually, China showed that it is on par with weapons development like America or Europe in general. So it got everything it wanted in this scenario. Yeah, I'm not paying for shit. Oh, where is this? Where is this information? Oh, shit. Okay. I don't know, like, is AIM network responsible? I don't know these people. There was a recent news article on some guy, like whoever that guy is, in the government said that the reason why nuclear plant is being happening is because, yeah, US Congress acknowledged that Pak dominated India. That is like literally what happened. There you go. It was not anyone. It was fucking Modi. Yeah, Indians are always in Delulu. That's all they have right now. They literally all they have right now. They don't have like the respect internationally. They don't have respect even geopolitically. They don't have respect for their neighbors, as we've seen before. So the gigabyte thing, yeah. Where is this? So when people are claiming, oh, we have gigabyte now, we have this now, we have that now, like people are really excited for the manufacturing growth in India. Great. Oh, what they don't understand that most of this is going to be shat onto AI. It's not going to be the people coming in, because again, unionization is kind of illegal in India. You can't unionize. They're not going to have actual people making these fucking motherboards, obviously, because even with Modi, like, did the Shanti bill, and fucking God, why are we the only one talking about the Shanti bill? It is for clean energy and giving energy to AI. Passing the Shanti bill, Lanwas, kurva. Gratitude to MPs who have supported. Jesus fucking Christ. Safely powering AI to enabling green Jesus fucking Christ. Boosting clean energy. This is what this is for. It's quite literally not even for the people. It's for AI. This is why like India is becoming a hub for AI, which is not AI, and AI is not intensive for working people. Like the people of India are not going to get any fucking jobs out of this. Like maybe like 20 people get a job out of this. Like max 25, max 100. But that is it. All of the money is going to be concentrated at the top with the people who control it. Instead of clean energy and whatever, to it opens numerous opportunities. This is a fucking lie. How is a nuclear, and which is also not very public person using, like worker using thing, open opportunities, especially AI, open opportunities in the public sector for the youth? How? Like, someone answer me. It is not fucking possible. So this is not a happy thing where gigabyte comes into India and somehow all of the problems are gone, or data centers come into India and all of the problems are gone because data fucking centers. No, fuck no. The problems are going to increase because these places are not going to hire people. They are going to use like modern AI technology to automate everything. So there are not going to be any workers involved in this. I'm sorry, and they're not even going to sell it at cheap. Sorry. Sorry, Priyanshu. Sasta hoga kya? To ki nahi, it's not going to be sasta. I'm so sorry. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, people in India are so fucking dumb that they see something like this on their fucking face, and they're like, they can't do one plus one here. Like, they can't do like 1+1. They're like mental. Like, I don't understand this. Like, even their second prime leader, Amit Shah, has said, "Aap chronology samajhiye." But like, they are not doing this 1+1. I am so sorry. With that note, I think this is like nearly 3 hours now. So I think we need to cut this off because I need to go edit this video. I am still looking for a fucking editor, which I do not have. Anyway, so thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone watching. Hopefully I have been more informative, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Thank you. Good night. Shabba khair. And see ya. Bye.